Well, hello. And the clock on the wall says it's time to start. Hi, John Little. How you doing? So Christmas Eve, conception, birth, or death? It's an interesting topic. We'll wait for people to roll in and then we'll discuss it. It's good to see you, John Little. How are you doing? Merry Christmas to you all. So is everyone enjoying their Christmas? Hey, Travis. Merry Christmas to you. We're on double super secret lockdown here in Canada. I don't know what the restrictions are. It's hilarious. It's all designed to make us angry, make us mad. So don't fall for it. I had some good tunes playing. Unleashing the Power, 432, 528. But now I don't have headphones on. Where are my headphones? Yeah, I'm doing well, Travis. Doing great. I got a turkey in the fridge. Got some cranberry sauce, got stuffing. We're good to go. I do enjoy turkey over Christmas. Hey, Raw Dog, Merry Christmas. Don't know how well the notifications went out. I did not receive one yet. So it could be a while, and a lot of people aren't even getting the notifications anymore. I tried switching channels, and that didn't seem to work. No, nothing yet. Switch accounts there, see if that's going on. Well, it says I'm live, but I got no notification. Wonderful. Hey, James. Hey, Lucky. How you doing? Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. Saturnalia, whatever you celebrate. I like that, Lucky. Hey, James. How you doing? Merry Christmas to you, too. Who is who? How you doing? Howdy, all. Hope all is well with this madness. Yeah, I hope you guys are all keeping it lifted with this madness. Let's see. I went and I had a bath today. I had a cleansing bath for oops. And you can do it too, a little bit of a detox, get a 417 hertz and play that while you're in the tub. Just put the phone on the side of the tub, don't let it fall in, and play the music, and it'll help you detox a bit while you're in there. It's also very calming, wipes out negative energy, and it's good for detox. Tony, how you doing? Good to see you. Merry Christmas, peace and love to you too. Give a few more minutes, let people roll in. Doing pretty good. Looks like the notifications went out good for you guys. Didn't go out well for me, but yeah, in these times too, there's a lot of division happening. I see it around me. Families being divided by Christmas, especially in countries like Canada, where they've managed to pit the vaxxed against the unvaxxed. It's unfortunate. But if we can stay lifted through this, there is a reward on the other side. Well, there's one I like. Of course, I have to get commercials. Thank you. So we're going to discuss the the death, and the conception, or the conception, birth, and death. We'll have to see how that goes. I've got my handy dandy chart out. I shaved my beard off and trimmed my ear hair. All that, and now everything is all quiet and muffled. Who knew you needed ear hair to hear properly? Yeah, I've got a lot of ear hair. I'm like I don't know, what would you call it? A hobbit? Yeah, a little bit of a hobbit. You guys can't see it here. I keep it well hidden, but there's little tufts that pop out, and I didn't know you needed that to hear properly, Travis. That's interesting. Oh, Tony. Oh, that's so sad. I was refused entry because of not. Oh, wow. See, that's disgusting. Don't shave it, big mistake. Yeah, I've never had I had a beard once, a couple times actually. I just found it kept getting caught and stuff, and at night it would wake me up with a sharp pain. I'd get a hair pulled on. Earwolf. That's funny. So I'm on the wrong side for you guys to see the chart, but that's okay. I can move it. Yeah, that is BS. I know families that are happy about being separated. I know families that are upset about being separated. I know people that are faking what they're doing. They said, "Oh yeah, I'm vaccinated," just to go. They lied to their family and say that they're uh, vaccinated. I know people that have used the lack of being vaccinated um, to get out of going to family vacations. Prelude to Airwolf. I don't know. Maybe, Raw Dog. How you doing? Airwolf. Did you get your silver up and running, Raw Dog? Airwolf is great. Never saw it. Box set had a white and black binge watched all of the episodes. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that, so I wouldn't. I don't know. Airwolf. Maybe I've seen some advertisements for. Is that like the guy that is a werewolf and he's a basketball player or something? I think. Although I don't know. Not yet. You haven't gotten it up. Okay. Yeah. Well, tell me how you like it a few weeks after you do. That'll be good. A good time to tell me. Sorry, guys. Grab a little snack there. All right. So we were going to look at the birth, death, and resurrection. So here we are. Right here, December. Well, this is the 21st. Could be 23rd. Counted as 3 days, so 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And here we are on the 24th. Next day is the 25th. Now, this period is the 3 darkest days of the year. We're at the very bottom. And we can consider that the birth of the Christ or the Son. Hey, Scotty boy. Are you at work right now? Oh, I got the day off, buddy. I'm having fun. I got 4 days off. So could be a fun weekend for me. So yeah, we have the birth of the sun here down at December 21st. Right? Now this again, this is the interesting part about this. If this is the birth, when was Christ conceived? I've asked that question before. When was the Christ conceived? Helios, right, Paula? How you doing? Merry Christmas to you. And over here we have the spring, March 23rd, which used to be the New Year. Baby New Year. And New Year's is celebrated with an old man and a young child or a baby. But here we celebrate a baby again. So we're celebrating a baby here, and for ease, over here in March 23rd, a baby again. So what am I? Oh, awesome. Happy birthday to your son, Tony. Well, yeah, when did that happen, Travis? Huh? Now, again, we have the other problem that Jesus is from the house of Judah. Or, here, Leo. So we have him here, and over here. It's a very interesting character. He bounces all over the zodiac. And if we look at the story, Jesus and Mary conceived or came together, and Mary conceived. Let's take a look at the conception. For me, that's the interesting part at the moment. I was going to do this beforehand, but I ran into technical difficulties. Let's see. Let's go to where are we going to find that? Let's see. I do have a Bible, but I'm on the computer right now. Topical Bible. Trying Bible Hub here. So it brings us to Matthew 18. So this is how Jesus, the Messiah, was born. His mother Mary was engaged to marry Joseph, but before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit. Well, the virgin is here, sadly. Christ born in, or of the house of Leo, the lion, born in her mother in Virgo. Let's get back here and see what comments you guys have. Was it 9 months? We're dealing with symbology, so symbolically, it could be both. Well, yes, if you look at it just as the physical, Scotty boy, she did get pregnant by some means. We're looking more in the symbology. So let's get to what the symbology means. Mary and Joseph came together, the right and the left hemisphere of the body. Grab a book here. We'll go. Here we go. So, Mary and Joseph come together and they conceive, or Mary conceives, the Christ. Mary and Joseph are representations of the left and the right hemisphere in you, and the conception area is the midbrain. Show the brain part. Here, the cerebellum. Okay, and this begins the journey to the pituitary gland and the what's the other one? Thalamus. Get that. So that begins the journey. And this is the journey of the Christ that mirrors the journey of you in the conception, the birth in the heart in Leo, the fall to hell in the lower chakras of hell, and the rise again to the cross of the vagus nerve with the optic thalamus, through the optic thalamus to the pineal. And that's the story, repeated everywhere. Right, feminine and masculine come together, the right and the left hemisphere. And every 31 and a quarter days, that cycle is repeated in you, activated by the moon. But it's also repeated in the Christ story and many others, actually. Krishna, Odin on the cross, whoever was on the cross or on the tree or in a cave for 3 days, in a whale for 3 days. A hidden place representing the optic thalamus. Right, Scotty boy, cycles. That's when I get bloated, irritable, and my claws won't fit right. Okay. Your loin claws? Okay. Although it takes actually around 10 months from conception to birth. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at that. So March, so is over here or over here. We use it over here. Start over here, I mean. So 9 months. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's almost 10. So that's an interesting way to look at it. 40 weeks. That's a pretty interesting concept, yeah. So March 23rd used to be the New Year, the spring day, but they changed it. Now New Year's is January 1st, which is right here, very close to a few days. I say they got the knock up in June. Well, but it was an immaculate conception, so you know, who knows how long the actual gestation period is. You know. I've had 2 kids. That's how they measure pregnancy. Yeah. 40 weeks. I'm going to need that material, Max. Are you coming to make your cameo? Okay. Hello. Say hello to the nice people. Don't give them the one. No, don't give them the stink eye. Don't do it. Okay. A mock knockoff. That's funny. Okay, you go over there, Max. I'm going to take that material away. Okay. And you can go over there. That's not what I want. Yes, I love you too. Hey, Paula. Merry Christmas. Wow, Tony. Good for you. Way to go. Oh, here comes coffee and donuts for me.
Just plain timid.
That's okay. Thank you.
5 minutes later, they would have been closed.
This is a Canadian addiction called Tim Hortons. Okay, you're not. Why do you need to come back? Okay. Dark Truth says hi. Awesome. Say hi right back. Okay, you come here then. Yeah, so conception taking 10 months starting in March works for the birth of the Christ here. So that seems to be decent. From conception to birth to death, right? But it mirrors the process inside of you. It happens every 31 and a quarter days. Oh, yes, I love you too. Kisses, kisses. So the important part of this whole process is to stay lifted. So I hope you guys are doing that. Hello, Max. Okay, you be the star. Okay. Tony 9, did you get a TV? Right? We gotta get Tony a different hobby. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So what are you guys doing to stay lifted this season? And don't overindulge. At least try not to. Yes, I love you too, Max. I can sit in this chair for hours. Until I do a show, you don't pay any attention to me. You don't want to sit on my lap. You don't want to give me kisses. Lifted, yeah, that too. So let's get lifted, guys. I actually put on a little bit of help for myself. I like to use frequencies on a constant basis. So here's one: happiness serotonin frequency, dopamine. Ooh, like that good stuff. 15 children. My wife is from Scotland, and I'm Irish, born in England, married over 34 years. Wow. Congratulations, Tony. Oh, you're close to who is who. Awesome. Yeah. So, guys, stay lifted in this season and even throughout all this shit, right? Because there is a possibility of a much brighter future coming out the end. John, you look out for Charlie. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta watch out for Charlie. Well, yeah. We have to be aware of what's going on around us. Other people are becoming aware, which is a bonus. This is an opportunity. Now, they're still on all of their theories and all of their various agendas and lies. But if the truth comes out, and it is, people are realizing that this is not what they told us, that the next thing is really not what they told us. And I polled a lot of Canadians. No, that's a channel? Channel. Okay. Do you know Look Out for Charlie? No, I don't. Let's take a look. Awesome, Paula. So what was that called? Oh, hold on. Look Out for Charlie. Is that a YouTube channel, I guess? Let's take a look. Out for Charlie. I don't want to get too distracted. Okay, well, that's funny. Oh, yeah, that's... Okay, he's got some interesting videos. Here, I'll post it there. Is it a comedy channel? JP put out a video today. I haven't gotten to it. JP, Awaken with JP. I do watch that. I do watch some comedy, even around, like, our lives is centered around what's going on. So I like having people that are making fun of it because it's a good way to get the message out to those that aren't quite awake. No, it's dead serious. Oh, he breaks down EMF. Okay. Yeah, I'm triple shirted today. I have 3 layers of EMF protection on. So, and I'm playing frequencies for happiness, and I'm having some medication. He's a dead serious channel. Yeah, I'm actually I'm receiving. I will be receiving an EMF detector in the mail on January 5th, which is a day that may live on in infamy. Hey, Delaney, that is the day that 5G will, as far as some reports say, will officially be turned on. Until now, you've just gotten a low grade or a higher grade 4G or a lower grade 5G or something. I don't know. But there is supposed to be an initiation date of January 5th. If you can, hunker down in an EMF protected zone at that time, maybe in a forest or somewhere like that. You may be able to hold out and watch the repercussions as they unfold. I'll have to take a look, Scotty boy. Yeah. For me, the what's going on is EMF initiated to get people in to get the jibby jab because of years of feeding us toxins, putting toxins in the air and in the food and water, and then you crank it up. I'm gonna grab something for a moment. Give me a second. I don't have today's stats because this program waits until midnight to update. However, we have been being bombarded. 72 in this area will make people sick. Now, this is back in earlier December. And we'll come up to yesterday, and you can see the numbers start to change. And here we are up to today, where they're running 72s on a constant basis. They've been hitting +5 on my meter, which is 73 as spikes. And that's what they do to us. I have to return this. This is my wife's phone. I just wanted you guys to see that, yes, they are bombarding us in extra. Right now, more than they have been in the past. They're going to claim that we get together and that because we got together, everybody got sick, because there is going to be sick people. This is going to cause sick people to get sick. Oh, that is why. Yeah. Okay. You get it, Travis? Yeah. At the moment, well, they aren't now, but over the past month, they were upgrading. I have a small substation down below me over to the side, and they were upgrading that over the past month. So they know that they're going to be pumping out more power, more dedicated wireless power. Yeah, right, Tony. So yeah, they're getting ready, I think, for January 5th. So guys, find a protected area if you can. Get protective clothing if you can afford it or can find it. These shirts run about $60 a piece. So I'm wearing $180 worth of protection. But it's made a huge difference. I don't know what we can do about a 5G hit. I think a 5G hit will just go right through this. I don't know if even I was thinking of getting rid of my phone, but they have surveillance on every pole, so they can facially recognize and target you that way. There's no way to avoid it. The only possibility is to find some type of protection or an area that they can't get you in. It wasn't very merry. No, it wasn't, Paula. Oh, gotta get a power supply over here. I'm going to open up the chat. There's a link. If any of you want to come in and have a chat, we're pretty much on a let's get lifted cycle of the show. So it's open chat. Anything you want to talk about as we're on EMFs now? I'm enjoying that. I do always enjoy talking about EMF radiation. It's a prime problem. It's the biggest problem we have at the moment. So is there anything you guys are doing? Hey, G, there's a link if you want to come up. We're talking 5 giggity and the effects. I believe that Crystal Shaman was hit by a 5G by accident. She walked by an area that they were working on the underground of. And she seemed to get bombarded. And that was it for her. She got really, really sick. I think she's still suffering some of the conditions. No, I haven't noticed that, Tony. What I have noticed, though, is that people are having strokes and heart attacks in their cars. And that's happening a lot. You haven't even chatted, Paula.
That's because
I can't hear you.
that's because I'm in here.
Headphones. As soon as I put that link up, you're talking. Not chatting, but you're up for a link. What do you
I
got
was
to say,
in a-
Paula?
I'll wait for your headphones so you can hear me, and then I'll be a smartass. It's hilarious because I know
I
everyone
can't
else
hear
can
you
hear
at the
me.
moment.
I know. Ah, ha, 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 ha.
My headphones got stuck. I'm just waiting for that link all day. Is that what you were doing, lurking and waiting?
Yep. Hi, everyone.
Oh.
Hi, other
I still can't
Paula.
hear you.
Well, put the headphones on your head. Oh, that's hilarious.
Give me a second, guys.
Okay.
All right. How you doing?
I was having a little fun with you, but you muted me, so everyone didn't get to hear it all.
I can't. Well, I didn't. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, but they could. But I was like, oh shoot, now I don't remember what I said exactly. But yeah, Crystal Shaman is still suffering the effects. I think it's because she lives in an area where she is just plastered with it.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, she got a big time zap.
Yeah. So I find the title to this interesting. I was in a call with Deborah, Dark Truth, and that was why I also wasn't chatting much in chat, because I was talking with her sister's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, internal bleeding.
She had the jab, I take it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask. but her sister's 77.
Hmm.
So surgery at that age is not wise. So, kind of, if you can, I'm going to rewatch this later, but since I'm in here, what is your stance on the whole death or rebirth thing that, the title of your video, so that I can throw my 2 cents in?
I'm still up in the air about it. I think it can be looked at in many different ways. So I'm not really stuck on a particular way of looking at it. I think it's all three in one, really, because it pretty much is. There's 3 days, there's a conception, birth, and death, all in there, really, in this one area. But you can consider it the spring as the birth.
Yep, spring is birth.
As you've taught me, Leo is the house that Christ is in, right?
Yeah.
That's his house. Well, then we've got Mary right beside it, the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
So, and that's about 9 months too, from Leo to back to Aries.
Yeah.
So,
and spring is, when everything starts to spring to life.
mhm,
Summer is when everything is in full bloom, full life.
mhm.
And then fall is when everything goes back to death again. And I think winter is man-made. I don't think we need winter,
Okay.
because my reasoning, I got another puzzle piece to that the other day when I was talking
Yep.
to somebody. Because on the crosses for the constellations, there is fixed, there is mutable, and there is
Cardinal.
fixed, mutable, and cardinal. There's only 3. There
Yeah.
is not 4.
Yeah.
And plus, in the beginning, it was always nice weather.
Oh, in the Purple Dawn era.
It was always nice weather in the beginning. There wasn't any.
Right, Smoking G. The sun dies for 3 days. So, and then resurrects. That's right.
Yeah.
And then you have the New Year baby. And we're celebrating New Year's down here at the end of December, just coming into Aquarius. It's, when the old New Year was over here in March,
Yeah. I just got an update from Deborah. Apparently, he can't find where the bleed is coming from. That's not good.
What's that again? Sorry, I was catching a comment there.
Deborah, the doctor can't find where the bleed is coming from.
Yeah, it's probably like a lot of those sports people in Europe. A lot of soccer players are falling because
I think she got the jab. I'm going to ask her.
Yes, yeah. Ask. Because what happens is they get their heart rate up, and the little thingies, the little graphene thingies run through their veins and start slicing at a faster rate.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
hemorrhaging of on a micro scale.
Yeah.
Probably. I've seen wrist and ankle injuries recently that are attributed to anything and everything but that, where they get swelling, redness, almost hive-like in some cases. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to make me work on that one, buddy. Hi, how are you doing? I wish I could pronounce
yes,
that name.
she did.
Let me see. Are you teasing me with this? I can call you Pictum. That's my interpretation. Hi, how you doing? Are we not? I'm not Gnostic, if that's what you're asking. But we discuss Gnostic things. Yes.
Damn it. Max, her sister got the jab.
Yeah.
And so the doctor cannot find out what's wrong. He
Nope.
doesn't know that yet, but he's not going to be able to find out what's wrong. None of
He
them
won't
can
be able to tell what's wrong. He won't
He
be able
won't
to
be
say
able.
it. He won't be able to
So,
say it even if he knows.
so that's why I told her, I said, that's what's wrong with her. And the doctor cannot find out how to fix this because it's not a vaccine.
Yep. I've been
This
looking.
does not look good for her sister at all.
No, I've been looking and I haven't found an actual solution. There are people that there are the Ezra Wellness Centers that have just opened up in Canada that are going to help deal with the symptoms of these injuries. But okay, I think we're getting spammed. I don't know. Is that spam there? Or, Ezra Wellness Centers are able to help with the symptoms of that, but actually fixing it, I don't think so.
Pretty sure that's spam. Let me check.
Do we have any
Yes,
moderators?
it's a scam. It's spam.
Okay, let me get rid of that then. Sorry, guys. Oh, why can't I get rid of you? Oh, I'm not on YouTube. I have to go to YouTube. Let's see here. Are there any moderators in here? If you
I
could
did
get
it.
rid of them. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is that the only one?
There was two, I think.
Where's the other one hiding?
Vuam no go. I don't know what that means.
How far up is it?
Oh, it's right down. It's like the third comment from the bottom. There's just two.
I don't think
There's
I
two of
see
them
that
somewhere,
one.
so- Okay, I've got them now.
You'd have to go
User
to
in
YouTube and
timeout.
get that one because
Oh, yeah,
I
I have
can't
to
see
go
it.
Here, where are you?
I very likely already have it.
Oh, that
blocked.
one's neat. That one's only on StreamYard. Okay.
What? It's over here?
Yeah, it's on StreamYard. How do I block you? Block user. There we go.
Oh, I see. There's two, but I can't do squat.
Yeah, I got them both.
Okay, good. How could they only be in StreamYard? What the hell?
I don't know. That's tricky, eh?
That is some tricky shit right there. Yeah. And that
I've
is
seen them all over
Russian.
the place now.
That's Russian. That's from Russia.
Yeah.
Love from Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen those on other sites before. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating a Timbit, guys.
You're what?
Eating a Timbit.
I don't know what that means.
They're donut holes.
Oh.
I'll show you. So they're like tiny donuts, tiny deep fried donuts.
Yeah. Oh, I have never seen those that way. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Now we have Bieber bits. Justin Bieber is promoting his own. Double yum, says Smoking NG.
It's definitely in the colon, though. Whatever's going wrong with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is one of the major side effects that I have seen, very prevalent. My brother-in-law, a few people, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
a few people at work have said that relatives had a similar condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because the test is Cyrillic. Does not mean it's from Russia. Yeah, it could be from. There's lots of countries that use that type of alphabet.
Oh, well, but I don't know. They all do it from the area that they're in. I feel like that's why it's different, no, all the time, because they do it from where they are.
Yeah, my ex-wife is from Yugoslavia, and they use the Cyrillic alphabet as well. So.
Yeah,
But it's from that area,
yeah.
which probably very soon will all be Russia anyway. So
Yeah, well, Russia's is acting a
are-
damn fool right now.
they are planning on retaking the greater Russian areas.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steve-O, how you doing?
Oh, but my husband's going to be home soon. He gets off at 3, and that's almost
20 after.
3:25, and I got to get dinner together.
Awesome.
I'm doing the dinner thing today, so I don't have to do squat tomorrow. It's already done.
Oh, we're going to cook the turkey tomorrow so that we can smell it all day long as we go in and out and stuff.
I'm doing it today, so I don't have to do it tomorrow.
I get
I can
that.
just relax.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like doing that sometimes, but nah.
I've never done it this way before, but you know me, I
Yeah.
like to be different.
That's cool. Yeah, then you just have to reheat it in the oven or whatever and
Yeah, just
serve
warm it up. I got
Yeah.
a little toaster oven. I can
the-
rewarm it in.
You're going to carve up the turkey and everything before tomorrow?
Oh yeah. We're
Right
gonna
on.
mount tonight. We're gonna sleep good tonight.
Oh, okay. Yep,
Okay.
making the deviled eggs today, says
Oh,
Smoky
hold
and
the
G.
phone. Hang on. He's calling. You're supposed to be almost home by now. Hello? Could have swore you said 3. Why are you calling?
We're doing well, Steve-O. I'm glad you're here. We're on a stay lifted
Okay.
path. And I wanted to get into the chakras too, because right now,
You want me to give you the list of
if we
stuff
look at
you
it
need?
as a cycle, we're kind of in the shock. Give me a sign when you're done, Paula. Okay, thank you. We're in the cycle of chakras. We're in the red, really.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting. We're at the lowest point coming up. So, did a cockpit? What's that, Travis?
Oh, I need to look at chat apparently.
Crock pot chicken for tomorrow. Started yesterday and doing that.
No, I make
forever.
angel eggs. Not deviled eggs. I make angel
Debone
eggs.
mechanically and separate it all that way. Yeah, a couple months ago, I tried one of those pre-made, pre-stuffed like turkey rolls, I guess you could call it. It was okay, but it wasn't as good as a real turkey at all. I would not suggest it for guests. I would suggest it for maybe a weeknight dinner, but not for any type of a celebration or anything.
Yeah.
Angel eggs, right on, Smoking and G.
Yeah, I do angel eggs. I saw someone said they're making deviled eggs. I make angel eggs. When when we were doing regular Bible study with a pastor,
Those got
that
little
Rachel
sprigs
had
of parsley
found,
sticking out the side as wings or something.
we went over to his house for dinner, and I was to bring deviled eggs, so I did, and he renamed them angel eggs, and I've called them that ever since.
Nice.
He was like, "These are not deviled eggs. These are angel eggs. These are delicious."
Yeah.
The
Cool.
secret is pickle juice in the mix or dill weed sprinkled on it and in it, and
Yeah.
onion chives, freeze-dried onion chives.
Nice.
And you use Miracle Whip, not mayonnaise. So there's my secret recipe, y'all. You know how to do the rest.
I think Smoking G's going to art up her her angel eggs as well. Is that
Yeah,
what you're thinking there, G?
I
Make some
think
wings
so.
on your angel egg.
Rose
You could give them a
about
little
it
face
too.
and a little dress or something.
Yeah.
You get some cheese and give it a little dress, or
No, they just taste heavenly.
mm.
They're yummy.
I'm thinking of food art. You know,
Yeah, I don't do any of that fancy stuff. I restuff them neatly by
if the
hand,
opportunity arises, I'll do it. But I don't.
but I will prettify them with a little bit of dill weed on top and then the onion chives.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like some paprika on there too.
Oh yes. Well, when I put the paprika in it
Oh, do you?
because
Yeah.
if you put it on
I
top,
like the look of it and the feel and taste of the
if you
powdered right on my tongue.
Oh, okay. Well, it
Yeah.
depends because I got to tell these people if you put the paprika on top, then your chives and your dill weed won't stick.
Well, you can put it on after you throw those on.
You could, but then the paprika won't stick. It'll fluff away off of the chives and stuff.
Okay.
It'll,
Well, that's
yeah.
how I do it. I put my chives on and then I sprinkle the top with paprika.
Okay.
I use chives.
Everybody has their technique, but everybody deserves to know the chive secret. Oh boy, is that yummy.
See, Travis says, got to go with Hellman's. That's
Well, if you're going to use Hellman's, then you have to use mustard.
Yeah, my parents would swear by the Miracle Whip.
And mustard. Yeah, Miracle Whip.
Hi, Cecilia. And
And
it's another strange comment. Cecilia Johns. Oh, they're trying a combination of English names. So, Cecilia Johns, that's an interesting one. Are they over on YouTube too? That's 3 bots in one day.
Yep, there's another one. Yeah. Sounds like you got it. I hear clicking.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
See, I'll block you over here too. Wow, that's a lot of them.
Oh, that's what happens to me when I go live, especially when I'm reading and I'm not paying any attention to live chat. I have to go at the end of my reading and I have to go through live chat and I have to go block.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not okay. I was able to block them over on YouTube, but I can't block them on StreamYard. That could be because I've already blocked them on YouTube.
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be because you already took care of it. Yeah. But speaking of angeled eggs, I need to go get started on mine. I'm going to rewatch this later and comment underneath. So I hope you get those notifications.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for coming up.
Yep. You're welcome. I love you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye. So that was interesting. Paula was the one who she's good on the Bible. She knows the Bible frontwards and backwards. Well, much better than I do. I don't know if she knows the entire thing. She's read it a few times. I know that. So put weed on there. Hell yeah. I don't know if that would be quite the right flavor, Steve-O, but John Levin. Hi. Little Levin, how you doing? Merry Christmas to you, Little Levin. Hello to everyone in the room. Hope you all have a great holiday with the family. Let's hope sun rises again tomorrow. Awesome. Hey, Crystal. How are you doing, hon? We were just talking about you and wishing you well. If you want to come up and chat, there's the link. For anyone else as well. I don't see anyone. It was a decoration, not a flavor. Okay. I couldn't see it being a very good, even as like that as decoration. You'd have to have it on the side there, Steve-O. Otherwise, it would get covered with mayonnaise, wouldn't it? Mayonnaise and egg. That would suck. But whatever you want. That might be interesting there, Steve-O. Maybe if you blended it in, okay? Carboxylate it and then blend in some Christmas cheer. That would do you. Now you know how the Grinch made you green. Yeah, you could do that. I don't know how that would taste, but you could try it. Not if you stick one pretty, but on top. Smoke it before you eat. Yeah, I suppose. So, any questions, comments? Oh, there's Crystal. Hi, hon. How you doing, hon? Good to see you.
Hello, I'm okay. I just now came on, so I'm sorry I didn't get to hear what the discussion was previously. How are you doing, John, and everyone
Doing
there?
good. Doing good. Well, we were discussing deviled eggs or angel eggs, as people like to call them. Maybe,
Food.
Yeah, yeah. Before that, we were discussing 5G, the effects of it, and before that, we were discussing Christmas and the cycle it runs under with the birth, death, resurrection, the 9 months of conception, that type of thing. How the new year was changed, how it's now here, used to be there over in March. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. What's on your mind? We don't have to talk about anything in particular.
No, nothing in particular. I'm getting better as time goes by. It's like a slow going process, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you came up in our discussion of 5G. There's supposed to be, now I've heard reports that 5G is supposed to be put out broadly on January 5th, that they're going to actually throw the switch, if you will.
I heard something to that effect and something about it being delayed, but due to concerns that it might affect airplane transmissions.
Wow.
Nothing about the human factor.
Yeah,
just
nothing about it'll make you sick and make you, maybe some people drop dead, but yeah,
right.
It'll interrupt airplane signals. Wow.
Right. The frequencies that they communicate on, that's the concern. So yeah, I mean, as far as what happened to me, I still tend to lean towards radiation.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely.
I cannot even describe. Even my hair is affected. So, of course, everyone says that's from the virus.
Yeah, you're just stressed out. That's all.
Yeah, it's
people
just
are dropping
stress
dead from heart attacks around here. Apparently, is because they're just stressed out.
Right, and that's exactly what I was told from the doctor. Is it's you got too stressed out from being ill.
Oh, definitely, Travis. yeah, right.
But I want to explain something to you, John.
Yeah.
Because not only is there loss of hair, but the hair that I do have has a different texture,
Oh,
and it will by itself get into a tangled mass within about 2 hours if I don't have it braided or put up. Now, is that normal? No.
no.
I mean, I have fine hair, but this is a strange thing, don't you think?
It's consistent with radiation.
Right. But you know, I can't tell anyone in my family that because they
right.
believe in the full-blown illness thing, you know, that it's the you
Yep.
know 2-year thing that's been going on.
It's coughing on people. That's what it is, eh?
Right. And you only get it when you're not eating, you know.
Yeah.
If you're seated at
Yeah.
a table, you can go without a mask and be perfectly fine and protected, but you know.
Yeah. In Canada, it doesn't like loud music. That'll make it more infectious, apparently.
That's funny.
Not serving food after 10 o'clock. That'll make it more infectious at a bar.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know,
Don't
if
you
you
find all
serve
these
food,
these particulars fascinating that is that comes up?
yeah, it's a virus that can tell time. You know,
Time and
yeah,
frequent, like, you know, like you can go to a concert and just not be affected at all unless you happen to have had the juice.
well, apparently up here, loud music will cause, you know, a lot of sickness. The virus recognizes this loud music and transmits much
Oh,
more
I see.
virulently. Yeah. So that's why we have to keep the music down up here. Like,
Well, think about the
just
Travis Scott
arbitrary.
concert. You know, the
Say that
Travis
again.
Scott I'm thinking about the Travis Scott concert where people who had had the juice, you know, the jab,
Mm-hmm.
you know, then they went to that concert and
Oh, they must
died
have
of
been just fine, right? Like, because, you
yeah,
know, they had the jibby jab. Nobody got
yeah,
sick.
and then but then you know, quite a few of them died of heart arrest. You know, their heart stopped working.
Oh,
That
you know, that was probably the stress of,
yeah, they were stressed out from the music.
you know, well, yeah,
And oh, this is so sad. What's going on?
that was funny stuff. Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It it's it's sick what's happening. Actually,
Yes.
there are a lot of parodies about it, Steve-O, but that's really it's sick to do a parody about people dying. But if that's what it takes to get people's attention, what are you going to do? Like, come on, people. There was an 8-year-old in Quebec died of a heart attack.
This is awful. I
Just
mean,
a week or so
oh.
ago. 8 or 12, I can't remember. But yeah. And they're telling people that heart attacks are normal in kids now. So it's
Yeah, not that I've ever heard of before.
it's going to be horrible come this March, because that's their cycle. That's their peak is March. Every year they've been peaking in March, so that's going to be a tough time for everyone.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, with the frequencies and the yeah.
Yeah, they will keep it up high from now on. I showed earlier the meter from the Electrosmart keeps the records, so you can see the climb from 68, bopping up and down to sustaining for the past week at 72. So they're going to keep us up there, and we've got thousands in the hospitals and thousands sick apparently. So they'll keep that up until March, where they'll hit their crescendo, and we'll see what they do there.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm finding is, you know, I don't know if I can explain this the right way, but like people, you know, people, this is like challenging their belief system, and you know, they they believe there is no virus, which may be true, as we know, because we know the
Yep.
test doesn't isolate anything. However, there is something making people ill.
Hmm.
I mean, I am living proof of it. And
Yep.
so it's almost like this challenges people's belief systems
Yep.
because they don't want to think there's anything going on, you know.
Yeah.
But something is obviously going on. When I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, the floor was full.
Yeah.
And I was
And
in
that's,
the section that was just for that illness that, you
mhm.
know, has been labeled for the past 2 years. I was on a floor where those were the only patients there. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, John, I constantly heard code blues, code blue, code blue, constantly.
Yeah, the hospital is one of the worst places for it as well because they, over the last wave or whatever, the first wave or whatever of this, they went around and they installed 5G everywhere in the hospitals and the old age homes. And
Yeah, well, I was
my
critically,
two of my parent of well, my mother and my father-in-law both were admitted to hospital with other problems
hmm
where they immediately caught a virus and were
oh, I
unable to
see.
shake it and unable to shake it until their death.
Oh
Um,
my.
yeah.
Well,
So,
you
and that was
know,
years ago. That was not now. Like now they have higher frequencies and more of them running through the
right.
hospitals.
Well, I was critically deathly ill before I ever went to the hospital. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I went. If I
Yeah.
had not gone to the hospital, I don't
You're
think I
lucky
would have
that you're,
survived.
yeah, you're lucky you're young enough and strong enough to make it through that. Like you took it, what you took sounds like you took two direct hits. Um, and wow, like I took one hit that wasn't, I don't think what I took was 5G. Both me and my wife were affected at the same time, the same things, the same symptoms. Uh,
Mhm.
it was immediate. But ours was some type of a convergence point or something, I think, of 4G and 3G and other frequencies.
Mhm.
What you got, I think, was a completely different animal. I think that was like an underground, like you were saying, they were working on the underground and they were probably installing the 5G system in there.
Yeah, and that was 2 days before, you know, it started was
Mhm.
when I walked by that. So, yeah. I mean,
And how many times did you walk by that in total in that time, do you think?
well, I think I had walked by it about a week before, and then I
Yeah.
walked by it that time then, but the difference was the second time that I stopped to take pictures of these massive electrical cables, I would call
Mhm.
them. Um, and I meant to send you pictures of that, and I haven't done it. But and then I took pictures of them in the street too, down in
Mhm.
the hole. I mean, I took pictures of all of it.
Yeah.
So I did, you know, stop there. But I'm gonna tell you, sometimes I can literally almost like smell. It almost like smells like my nostril hairs are. I can smell a burnt smell.
Yep.
But this is my
That's,
experience, and I want to make that clear because I know that this challenges people's belief systems. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Of some people believe in the VIRU.
Just chopped you right out. Still can't hear you, hon. Now you're muted. They muted you for some reason. Yeah, we have to understand that there is a complete disconnect. This hoax they're using, virology, it's a complete hoax, and until people finally realize it, the problem will never go away. We could get rid of the problem, detoxify people. Still can't hear you, hon. Maybe you should try.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yeah, I was talking and saying I know this challenges people's belief system because some people believe in the virus, some people don't. Some people don't believe that there is anything at all. You know, they're just in total. They're either black or white. There's no middle ground. But, you know, something is making people sick. And this was not my imagination. I was critically, very seriously ill. So, you know, but yeah, that's all I was saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just continuing on with what you were saying. That's all. While you were cut off, so there wasn't just dead air.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that. That only usually happens when I'm on a panel with about 4 or 5 people. Then that happens, but it's just you and I, so I'm not sure why that happened.
Started when you started spelling the word. They didn't like that for some reason.
Well, I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, we've been very good about that. Come on. Be nice to us, you know. And this is just an entertainment show, right? So
yes, this is nothing suggesting what anyone should do about any of their personal you know, medical situations or anything. Just sharing my experience.
Yeah, can you tell because there's people here that haven't heard your experience, can you tell them, give them your experience with it, like what happened and what it felt like?
Okay, yes, and I'm sorry, everybody, I cannot see the chat right now. Well, you know, I told you I had walked by that one place that one time, and, you know, working downtown, you're around all these high-rise buildings that have all kinds of technical equipment on it, let's say, you know. So the whole downtown area has all of the frequency
It's the same in my
situations.
city too. Me and my wife don't really go downtown at all if we can avoid it, because we just don't feel good after we go down there.
Well, I was working downtown. I didn't have a choice. That's where I worked. So, and then about you know, I'd say less than a week later was whenever I walked by that stuff and photographed it. And then that was on a Thursday. By Friday night, I started feeling unwell. And also, I mean, I'm just going to, you know, say it. There's just no other way to say it. Felt like something was spiritually attacking me as well. I'm not going to go into the details, but I was aware of it. However, I was ill, so I was kind of
suffering physically,
vulnerable. Yeah, vulnerable, shall we say. So the next morning was Saturday morning. I woke up and I could barely move because when I did, I had this headache worse than a migraine headache. No other way to describe it except it was worse. And every time I would move, my head would feel the movement. So I stayed off work. The following Wednesday, I went to a minor emergency center. They refused to treat me because I declined having a swab stuck up to my brain. So they told me they would not help me at all, which I believe is illegal.
Yeah.
based on the loss we have currently going. So that was September 22nd. I began getting ill on September 17th. That was that Friday night. And then September 22nd, I went to the minor emergency. They would not help me at all. They said, you have to go to a hospital. So I did go to the hospital. I did consent to in the front of the nose situation. And I said, I do not consent to having that stuck up to my brain. So they did in the nose, in the nostrils only. And then, you know, of course, what the result of that was, you know, positive for, and told me to go home and take vitamin D, 5,000 milligrams or whatever for 5 days. This is what I was told to do. Of course, that only made me have a horrible stomach situation. So, you know, that's the 22nd whenever I was told that. And then by the 27th, 5 days later, I was to the point of not being able to breathe. You know, if I had not gone to the hospital and been put on oxygen, I don't know what the result would have been. But, you know, during that time, I did have a high fever, almost 104-degree temperature. Of course, stomach situation. You know, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. They continually told me, the nurses and the doctors were continually coming in my room telling me that I was probably not going to survive. They were constantly telling me that I was going to die. And I just would look at them and think, you know, you can say whatever you want, but
What
I don't feel
horrible
like
human beings. They should lose
So
their
that
licenses and go to jail for that.
Yeah, that was quite a situation there, because almost the entire time I was there, they were insinuating that I was not going to survive. They didn't like it because I would not allow them to intubate me and put me on a ventilator. They did not like that as well. It didn't set well with them. So that may have been why they were,
Greedy sons of
you know,
bitches.
saying what they were saying to me, because I wouldn't comply.
Good for you. Yeah.
So
Those greedy sons of
it
bitches.
was a horrible situation, because then once you're in the hospital, you're at their mercy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to do everything they say, or it will be put against you on your medical records. I had a nurse ratchet. She was quite awful. She would just burst in the room and expect me to do what she wanted instantly. And if I didn't comply with her wishes, then she would say things to me like, "Are you mad? What's wrong with you? Are you mad? Are you upset about something?" I would just like to pee without being interrupted, you know. But yeah, she was quite a case, that one. She was the worst one I had, I think, because she, like I said, it didn't matter what you were doing. When she walked in the room, she wanted to get your blood sugar or this or that. I ended up like literally being a pincushion. You know, they were giving me insulin shots, because whenever they give you steroids, it causes your blood sugar to go up.
Okay.
So they were checking my blood sugar 3 or 4 times a day. So you're getting poked for that. You're getting insulin shots in the arm. You're getting poked in the stomach because of the blood clot medication. They administer that in the stomach. I took pictures of myself after I got home of my stomach area. It was so bad. I still have marks on me from my arm where they took blood. I still have a mark even now. And that was October 16th when I was released. So I can still feel where they pricked my fingers. Now, I find that strange as well.
Hmm.
It took whatever it was that was happened.
That
Let me
area
put it
could be
that way.
infected. That area could be slightly infected because of their probing.
Well, let me explain. Like any weakness that I had in my body before is now magnified.
Yeah, that's
Any pain that I had before
so
is
every stick is going to take longer to heal. Every scrape.
yeah,
Yeah.
where I got all the broken bones a few years back. Those are bothering me tremendously now, and I had all that calmed down,
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean, I do have, I think that I need to do some detoxing as well. I'm just trying to give my body a chance to heal first.
Hmm. Well, there's the bath you can do. Now be careful with this one because it'll make you dizzy, or it can. Where you take 1 cup baking soda, 1 cup borax or boron, a cup of Epsom salts in as hot
Hmm.
bath as you can for 20 minutes, and scrubbing, constantly scrubbing, so that you're
Yeah.
getting the toxins out. This is actually used for radiation poisoning. Uh, it was a protocol invented by the Russians for radiation poisoning.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So it may have a great effect on you. I've been doing it twice a week, just as a precautionary to get all the crap out.
Hmm.
I would suggest that you guys do it as well, because they are going to pump it up in everywhere, because they're kicking up the program now. Luckily, though, the predominant strain is Omicron, so that's a good thing. It's
Yeah,
very
moronic, isn't it?
yes, and in Canada, I took a poll, and we're in lockdown. We're in total lockdown.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pretty much, not like total, but we're in double secret indemnity lockdown. So
Wow.
yeah, they've limited capacities and told us that we should just stay home for Christmas and just cancel Christmas, guys. Except if you're vaccinated, then you should go right ahead and have Christmas. But make sure you segregate the unvaccinated, and that's actually kind of worked here. In some cases, I've seen it work.
Well, I mean, it's being said even those that have taken the jab can get ill, though.
Yeah. There was a recent report I saw, 4 out of 5. This is a UK report. 4 out of 5 people getting the cooch, or whatever you want to call it. They were vaccinated. So people were saying, "Oh, that's a horrible thing." But if you look at that reasonably, it just means that there's absolutely no difference between the vaxxed and the unvaxxed, because it's about 80%
Right.
of the population vaxxed and about 80% that are catching it. That works out just about right. So there's absolutely no difference. We'll see other studies like this, because that's not what the jibby jab is for. So yeah, yeah, right, Scotty boy. Me too. Now we've learned something. Those steroids, or what about are you on an inhalable steroid now?
Because I have asthma originally, I was on the albuterol one,
Mm-hmm.
and after I was released from the hospital and went to a follow-up appointment, the doctor took me off of that one and told me to go get this steroid inhaler, which, by the way, costs about $250 for one inhaler. However, he said this will get rid of that out of your lungs, the C word. And I mean, it has helped. However, of course, the doctor denies it and everyone denies it. I asked them if that could be a factor in my hair. Could that affect your hair is what I asked. And I was told no. So they said it was the C word
Mhm.
that affects your hair.
Yeah. And they're right, because we know what the C word is. It's not what they say.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Well, they say it's the C word, and I say it's the R word.
Yep. Yep. Definitely the R word.
I looked up the symptoms of the R word, and they match the C word symptoms exactly.
Yeah, they have used the electric weapons were used on India. China has them, mobile electric weapons that they can fire at troops. And of course, we had the Gulf War, if everyone remembers,
Hmm.
where
Yes, and
people
the
just
men who were
jumped
there
out
had
of their
horrible
tanks.
illnesses.
Yeah, and they all just jumped out of their tanks and ran away without firing a shot.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that's what
The
they
enemy,
did.
yes, the enemy,
Yeah,
as they called them. That's what they did
yes,
to the enemy.
yep. And a lot of people believe that that was what they were using. So this technology as a weapon has probably been around for a long time, a lot longer. I did an episode on the Faches, which basically is a microwave weapon if you look at it in the proper context. So this
Hmm.
technology has been used over and over and over, I think.
Right. I
And it
saw
may
some
be that
patents.
this, go ahead. You saw
I
some
saw
pat.
some patents. I saw some patents for some things that go back quite a ways.
Yeah,
They've had things for quite a while.
yeah, yeah. And I dissected well, people have dissected microwaves on YouTube. You can see the structure, the sphere, the round structure with the holes, gathering the free electrons in a spiral and then shooting them out is how a
Yeah.
microwave works. And it's the same structure as a Faches. And right now, and it could be that they use these Faches or for resets. And that's what maybe they're doing now is we're getting an updated version of the Faches being deployed everywhere, you know?
Yes. I do think it's think about back to the 1918 Spanish flu. And
Hmm.
then in around 1816, there was another epidemic. So I'm seeing like a pattern.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know
And
if I
they,
told you, but I was told that about 2 years before this current 2-year ordeal we're going through, um, actually, my brother told me this, and he wouldn't say it unless it was so. Um, he said that certain people went to Alaska and dug up some bodies, and they were some of the people who had died during the 1918 Spanish flu. Now, keep in mind also that they were being jabbed for that as well.
yeah.
Okay. So, but he said that they dug up bodies and took samples of certain things from the bodies. And
Mhm.
he said that was about 2 years before our current sea situation.
Yeah. And when you think of a rudimentary system like that, like they used in 1918, or one even more rudimentary, like the Faches, would cause your skin to erupt in with pustules, sort
Wow.
of like because it wouldn't hit like now they've got a smooth because they're using it for communication. They've got a smooth wave. A Faches would put a randomized frequencies and could cause huge pustules on the skin, just like the bubonic plague
Hmm.
that they claim was caused by fleas from rats. Um, there, Interestingly enough, my brother-in-law had his ankles swell up, both the exact same. Then they said, "Oh, that's because of ticks," but he had no tick bites at the time.
Wow.
Only later did he develop these sores that don't really resemble tick bites. So, yeah,
Right.
they could be used. It could have been that type of weaponry that they were using even back then. Um,
Right. And I did tell you that when I was in the hospital, the skin started peeling off my lips. And I
yeah,
asked them for something to put on my lips, and they would not give me anything to put on my lips because
like,
certain
like they
things
have
you can't have around
Vaseline, or
you can't have those certain things around oxygen machines, so they wouldn't give me anything for my lips. And
wow,
then the skin on my face started peeling off. It was just like peeling, like almost like I'd had a sunburn, but I wasn't
yeah,
red, but the skin on my face started peeling off, and it's still peeling off a little bit even now. So,
yeah. That's probably because of the smooth frequency coming out. It probably hit your body all over, but you might have been actually offered a minimal. Is it happening all over your body as well, or just the exposed areas?
no, it was the lips and skin on the face, and then, of course, my hair situation.
What about your hands? Any difference there?
No, not my hands, but I have an ex-boyfriend who also um,
That's pretty tough
was
skin.
as as bad as me. He had it before I did, and I know I didn't get anything from him. It wasn't anything that was caught, but
Mhm.
he was in the hospital about 3 weeks as well, and he said the skin on his hands peeled off.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Now he is self-employed. He works for himself. He owns his own business. He buys and sells muscle car parts. So he's not around a lot of technology where he is stationary at. However, I'm sure things around him probably could have technology on them.
Oh yeah, he could have a cell tower right beside him, or you know,
Right.
even the small emitters they're putting up now. Now I haven't seen the small point-to-point emitters in my area yet, so I think you might be right that the rollout isn't working or going as fast as they want. So the January 5th might not be possible in my area. So that's a good thing. But in some areas, I'm sure that they've got the upgrades in. You need
Well, I have a tower box, a small tower box for that came with the cable in my living room, and I've had this same service for probably 5 or 10 years, this same equipment, because I won't upgrade like some people go and get the
Mhm.
latest technology. Well, I don't. But
Yeah.
I noticed on the back, about a year ago, I noticed on the back of that box, the tower thing that's for getting the internet. I noticed on the back of the box that it said 5G. Now, this box has been in my house for 5 or 10 years. So
Oh,
obviously, this was thought of well before now.
yeah. Yep. See, I have mine in a Faraday cage. It's not grounded, but it's in a Faraday cage. It cuts the signal a little bit, but not completely. There are products you can buy that you can put your routers in, and some routers come with the option of turning off the Wi-Fi and just running a cable.
Hmm.
That's a
Well,
better
mine has
option.
a cable run to my laptop. I don't have the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
have a hard cable run to
Yeah,
my laptop. I don't use the Wi-Fi.
yeah.
So,
It might still search
but
for
I just thought it was
devices.
interesting that.
The
Hmm.
Wi-Fi still might search for devices and be used as a weapon, even though you're not actually
Well,
hooked
here's
up
the
to it.
thing. My neighbors have it. All my neighbors around me have it.
Yeah.
So it's my understanding, like, even if you're like within 20 or 25 miles of a tower, that it can affect you. Well, within my neighborhood alone, there are
Yeah.
6 or 7 other structures, shall we say, within my neighborhood alone. So
I have a
this
building
is
that
not
looks like
counting.
I have a building just across from me. It looks like a porcupine. It's got so many emitters on it.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that big structure that I told you that I saw is probably about 5 miles from here. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a big tower. I've got a couple towers around me. I've got buildings that are just outfitted to the hilt because they get money from the cable company for allowing them to put their emitters on top of apartment buildings. So some of the buildings
Mhm.
have like 20, 30 emitters on top of them. I couldn't imagine living in that building. Like your health must just be, oh, I couldn't imagine what is happening to people that live in those buildings. Although they might
Right.
be,
Well, we know.
they might not be in the beam, being right underneath it. That's a possibility too,
That's true.
you know?
They might be in a shell, so to speak, in a sheltered area, so to speak, because they are so close. Like the building right by all the things I photographed, it's part of it is a living space for people. And then at the bottom, on the bottom level, right there where I took pictures of all these cables,
Yeah.
it's just imagine a big building and there's like apartments in there, but on the bottom, and this is an old building. This is Tartaria we're talking about. All the buildings, like half of them downtown are Tartaria. So,
Nice.
but anyway, there's a beauty shop in the bottom of this building right at the corner, which is that wall is with all the cables, the electrical cables. I mean, she does people's hair in the bottom of that building there, at the street level. And I was like, wow, I can't imagine being on the other side of that wall from all these electrical cables even.
Wow. Have you gotten the ElectroSmart on your smartphone?
No, I
Just
still have to do something about my phone and I don't know what to do. There's too much on my phone. I can't download another app onto it.
Yeah, because you
And I've
could
got
walk up
people.
and you could test it that way. You could see what areas are high in EMF and which areas aren't. It'll detect it up to the meter, like right up to, like if you're right underneath a cell tower, it'll tell you.
Right.
So you can tell what
I've got to
source
figure out a
is.
way to empty some stuff off my phone. And people, Paula suggested that putting stuff on the cloud.
Yeah.
I don't have any cloud features on my phone. And
Do you
then
have
somebody else.
Do you have the possibility of expanding the memory?
Well, I already have one of those little memory things in there with part of my stuff on it. So,
Yeah, try and get as
um,
much stuff over there as you can. And if you can't fit all your stuff on there, you got to get a bigger chip.
I
Like you can
have
get,
the biggest chip. This phone
okay,
will only take a chip a certain size, by the way. It
yeah,
won't
some
take
of them are
the,
like
the
that.
bigger
Yeah.
one. So, but someone suggested to me to make folders on my drive and put things in the folders. And I'm like, but does
Mhm.
that decrease your memory space? I don't know.
It might zip file it and make it smaller. I don't know.
Yeah, I kept asking them, so does that help your space on your phone? And they never would say yes. So I'm like, well, you're not really helping me out here.
Yeah. So Paula Shields here is saying that the 5 gigahertz has been around since the 70s. She's heard. I wouldn't doubt
Well,
it.
I mean, I heard a lady on YouTube months and months ago saying that she got a 9G phone. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I was listening to a podcast about the creator. This guy decided he went into clothing, protective clothing and such, and he makes a bag for the phones to protect you when you're not using it. And he claims he had to go up to 3 layers and find a specific combination of copper, nickel, silver, different layers of it
Hmm.
in order to negate these 5G phones from emitting right through fabric, protective fabric.
I actually have a pouch thing that is for that you can
Mhm.
put your phone in.
Yeah. So with them, like, yeah, I've ordered an EMF meter, one with an alarm on it, so I can just carry it on me all the time. I don't know if you guys have the means to do that, but it might be advantageous. It could possibly save your life. So just telling you, because you could have directed things come at you. The one I'm getting will tell you the direction of
The source.
source of the electricity coming at you, um, so you can evade it. You might get
Right.
some exposure, but you don't have to get a lot.
Well, I've had my hands really full. The literally since I got out of the hospital, because of the time it's taking me to try to recover from whatever that was. The employer chose not to preserve my job for me, and so my job was restructured to something that I can't do. So
Yeah,
guess what? Guess what? I have no job to go back to, and I've never been released from the doctor to even go back to work yet. I've had to apply for all kinds of assistance from all kinds of people, and I still have one more thing I have to do. So basically, I'm having to do all these things to try to assure that I can survive,
yeah, yeah.
literally.
Jeez.
So yeah, I've had to apply for several different things, and everything's in limbo at the moment. So, that's the worst thing about this whole situation is because of what they did with my job, now they have put me into an even worse situation.
Yeah, and that's part of the plan. Unfortunately, they want to
Mhm.
bring us to a point where we rebel and overthrow or uh, instill a state of martial law where they can do martial law. They've been pushing for that by all the contrary edicts, not respecting the stuff that they say, even like they know it's all lies. Um, you can practically see them laughing in their brains when they say the V word. They know it's not real. Most of
Yeah,
them do.
I, you know, to me, it's a DNA. It's to make you GMO, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah. What they're doing to people and trying to do to
Yeah, it's to
everybody.
make the humans be a GMO, and then each one after that is another, link in the chain of making you a GMO.
Absolutely. But then there's the Gates plan, right? And his father's ideas of having a few less of us around.
Oh yes, yes, I know what you mean. The Depop.
Hmm. Yeah, they're very adamant about that, and you can see that's starting to work. Yeah, Mr. Mensa just happened to. Yeah. The only thing I wonder is after they get rid of all the sheeple, what are they just going to be left with wolves? Like who are they going to have left? Like I don't understand. You know, what their
Well, I
plan.
think they're trying to get rid of some of the wolves as well.
Yeah. Well, they do have. What they have done too is because it's an experiment. They
Like
have
me.
some places that are up to 5 to 10 times the poison that they're distributing to other places. So they might be saving certain sections in areas by batch number.
Yeah, I think they're quite selective in a lot of things they do.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There is a state, and I'm trying to remember if it's Virginia, Vermont. I can't. I can't remember which one it is. It's east though, where frequencies are not allowed in this certain
Wow.
area. And some people who have a sensitivity, which of course all of us humans have a sensitivity to it, but you
Mhm.
know, I've heard of people who have it worse than we do, I guess. They're even more sensitive, let's put it that way. Some people that have that situation move to this place because they don't have Wi-Fi there. They don't have all the technology frequencies, and there's a reason why. And I can't remember. I'm sorry, but there is a place like that in the United States. But you know, I don't think we're all going to fit there.
Yeah. Well, actually, they say that they can fit it. This is a population thing. I heard a guy took everybody and said, on if you take everybody on the planet, you could fit them in New York City. They wouldn't have room to
Oh,
move
really?
around and stuff, but yeah, you could take the entire world's population and fit them into New York City. They wouldn't have like land or anything. That would be just standing around with a meter of space. But the entire population of the planet in New York City, completely possible. Yeah. You know, and Texas, apparently, if we put everybody in the state of Texas, we would all have a good plot of land.
Oh, yeah. Texas is nice and roomy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody would have around an acre or two, and you could put everybody.
Well,
And
Texas
with
is
New
having
York
its
too,
own
that's not
challenges.
with New York too. That's not everybody stacked on top of each other. That's everybody just spread out. You know. So yeah,
Yeah.
this whole idea of overpopulation is ridiculous, really. What I think they're
I
afraid of is us reaching a critical mass where innovation
mhm.
and the connectedness of humanity happens. I think that's their fear.
Yes, I think the awakening, people becoming more awake and aware of things,
Mhm.
is a threat to them.
Absolutely, and it's still happening, but they're, they're trying to slow it down by keeping us in a state of fear and keeping us on edge. They're getting people angry. Any negative emotion they can produce will help. You know, help their cause. Oh, you're
Right.
welcome. Excuse me.
Well, you know, they like to keep the masses in the fear mode, that's for sure.
Yeah, fear sells too, right? So while they buy up everything around us, there's property management companies buying up all the houses in the area that they've
Same
priced
in the
out.
US.
Yeah, that they've priced out of the range of regular people.
Right.
You can fit all Texans in 1 acre. Yeah, that's interesting, Scotty boy. So see, you could fit all Texans in 1 acre. That's an interesting one, Scotty boy. See, we're
Yeah, I
not that.
feel like Texas is targeted, you know.
Yeah, well, we've been having strange weather effects up here, and I think it's because of Texas getting smashed over and over again. Uh, we're above the where my our airstream is the Carolinas up here, but that starts above the airstreams in Texas. So if they do an
Mhm.
expansion or contraction, that'll affect us because I'm in the lower part of Canada. I dip down to the U.S., so I'm actually a lot lower uh, in into the south than a lot of the states. So
Mhm. What
so
are your
yeah,
thoughts on magnetic north migrating itself?
I haven't heard much about that lately.
You
How's
know,
this?
I plugged that in on YouTube, and it's like older stuff, except for
Yeah.
one person, and that's Maverick Star.
Okay. And where is it now?
Now,
Has he mapped it?
I think some of his old videos are supposed to have something on there, but he has people who are doing readings, and he has equipment. Other people have equipment. The only problem with that channel is every single video he does, he is harping about wanting donations,
Oh,
and he's saying that it takes money to do this. Well, I understand that. I'm not in any situation where I can give anybody anything. I have
yeah.
like zero income right now.
Yep.
So, that's the only thing I don't like about that channel. And people say stuff in the comments to him, and talking about other people do things to help people out, and they don't. They work full-time jobs and still do it. You know what I'm saying? But I guess the equipment is quite expensive, and he has people like all over,
Yeah.
taking these readings and such. So I don't know. I'm kind of like,
Well, I guess,
have
if
mixed
it's
feelings about
important,
all that.
if it's important to you, Paula Shields says there's Magnetic Reversal News. I think they might keep an update on it. There's
Oh,
probably
is
others
that
out
she's
there
talking
too.
about? She's talking about Diamond, I think.
Oh yeah, he doesn't actually track it. Is that Diamond?
Right. Maverick Star has people actually literally
Yeah,
using instrumenting devices and instruments and equipment.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
he uses the government data
Yeah,
on
well,
that.
we
I
know how
think.
reliable that is.
Yeah. So I'll look up this Maverick Star here and let's take a look.
Yeah, he's over in the
He's
UK,
on
I
YouTube.
think. Yes.
Okay, let's take a look.
I think it's all one word.
Oops, on there.
If I could, if I had a reliable source
There
of
it is.
income, I would certainly contribute to certain channels, to
Mhm.
help the causes of certain things. But I'm just in too precarious a position right now, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who have no job. You know what I'm saying? And well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a category of being ill, but I'm talking about people who can work, but they have no job because of whatever's happened to them. They've been put out of their job.
Does he allow
Some
people to
people,
share his stuff? This Maverick Star? Does he say he allows people to share?
oh, I don't know, John.
Yeah. Well, then I can't. I was just wondering if we could look at any of his stuff. But
You could post a link in the chat, I suppose. I can't see the chat, but I can't do anything for you right now. But
yeah.
like I said, I have mixed feelings about it, but it's being tracked north of you, John,
Yeah.
of
Oh,
course.
here, Diamond. He and Mavstar are they're friends. So okay, so he's got up to the date information from Mavstar. That's cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Did I say his name wrong? I called it Maverick Star. Is it Mavstar or Maverick Star?
Well, I got Maverick Star. I actually got what
Okay.
you said, but she was just shortening it, I guess. Mavstar.
Oh, no worries. I just didn't know if I
Yeah.
said it wrong.
Maverick
name
Star
is
reloaded his
Gene.
channel. Okay.
Yeah, his name is Gene, like Gene. Very highly intelligent person, Our reality has become so bizarro. I mean, honestly,
He's
you
always
have to
whining.
look at everything and examine everything, and see how it resonates with you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't ask for donation. I would love to do what I do full time and just have people pay me to do that, but that's
Sure.
it's not realistic at the moment. So I don't really, and I'm not gonna,
Right.
like um, like this comment I don't share because he's always whining. He used to talk, right? And even if I was
Yeah.
based on donations, I don't even know if how I'd feel about asking for donations to do
Right.
it.
Well, some people on YouTube do
Mhm.
seem to be able to make a living and
Yeah,
survive and help their situation financially off YouTube, but I mean, you know, and yes, Paula Shields, that she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Every video he puts out, every video he is bitching about that. And
nice.
you just get tired of hearing the bitching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There are a couple channels that I do watch that I understand. Like that. They need money to do what they do. I need money to do what I do too.
Yes,
Starting up my channel was not
right,
cheap. It cost a bundle. Just for the equipment and now to protect myself, I've had to spend a bundle to protect myself. But when you
right.
spend years feeling just kind of ill and drained, and then you
Mhm.
don't, like most cold and flu seasons, I feel it's like they say long COVID, right? Where I just feel like crap the entire winter season, and I'll have
Yeah,
toothaches and nasal problems and all this kind of crap that goes along with it. But since I started protecting myself, that didn't happen. That doesn't happen anymore. So I
right.
haven't felt. I still have a nasal infection that I have to constantly monitor and fight. But other than that, the sickly feeling of entering this season hasn't happened.
Right.
But yeah, for
Yeah.
5G,
Ev-
we need some heavy duty type of protection for 5 GHz. I don't know what kind of protection that is. You tried magnets, and I don't know if that really worked. It could, but the metal clothing I know works for sure. Um, there are other things like that people sell, but their effectiveness against 5G will
Yeah.
be unknown until until we experience it. Right? We don't have the testing
Right.
facilities.
I don't think the magnets will help with the frequency
Hmm.
things being used against us. I think it
Yeah,
helps with nano, but
maybe. Yeah,
I don't think it is effective against frequency weapons.
yeah, yeah. Like you need maybe a
So, I
full-on
mean, like,
Faraday.
what is the solution? If you shelter
Well,
yourself and put yourself in a Faraday cage, and then you
yeah.
have to walk out of the door of your house, and
Eventually,
then then you go from one extreme to the other, what
yeah.
does that do to you? Can a person? Here's my question: can a person adapt to it? Can a person um, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Can
I think that people can adapt to it and will, uh, but with increasing disease, like we've seen well, since I was young,
mhm.
I used to have
Yes.
encyclopedias that had that type of thing in it, with world rates of disease and the industrialized communicative countries had the most disease, and it just continues to
Right.
rise. So yeah, it'll be more cancers, more problems like that. In those that aren't affected immediately, it's probably more long-term disease, autoimmune
Mhm.
cancers, things like that. On people like me, I get the short term, so like the surface level uh, problems, like teeth problems, eye problems, nose, uh, those
Mhm.
types of problems. or what hit me first. But yeah, some people just they've glazed that over, and they'll just get the long-term effects, because they're not even see, unaware of it. You're not protecting yourself. I think it's
Right.
a bonus actually to be as sensitive to the stuff as many of us are here, because you'll be more apt to do something about it.
Right. Even
letting-
Harold Kotz-Veller said that, he has in his house no Wi-Fi, no technology, and I had heard him mention that before, that they would open the door and walk out the door and almost just collapse because they had no resistance, and you know what I'm saying, they weren't used to it.
Yeah.
And they would almost pass out if they went outside of their house. So, I don't know what the solutions are. I want us to come up with solutions.
Well, unfortunately,
to try.
unfortunately, it's a battle. If we had reasonable government and reasonable people doing this, what they would do is they would flatten out the wave and make it run at a constant level.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't do that.
Well,
they
that's
can
because
make
they
it
have a
run.
reason for not doing that.
Right. And
they
right
have an
now-
agenda. So,
yeah. So what how the signals work is they raise it up to a level. It sits at 5G, and they drop it down to induce the signal. So it's always going up and down and up and down to induce the signal.
mm-hmm.
And that's damaging to your cells and your body. Yeah.
So it's like a wave, up and down.
Yeah, but it's always up. That's the thing. If it's not transmitting a signal, it's putting out a 5G wave. Because they gather the signal on the downturn of the signal, so it maintains a 5G wave like that, say, and every once in a while it drops down, and that's how you get your signal. So
Okay.
It's always going to go back up to 5G.
Well,
So,
people, a lot of people don't think that it can affect us. There's that side of the coin, but I mean, just
Well,
from
they have
my
the
personal
proof.
experiences in my life,
Yeah.
I know that frequencies do affect humans,
Mhm. Yeah. We used to have one of those.
and I'm not not necessarily talking about technology,
Yeah.
but, I've had experiences, certain particular experiences, which I would share with you in private, John, but I'm not putting it out here in the public. But frequencies do a human, literally. There's no way around it.
Yeah. I agree. Like, we saw the first images of this situation we're in from that place in China, that place I can't say, where people were falling down in the streets.
On the West Coast? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, over in the Dragon
Yeah,
Land.
the initials, yeah.
Yeah, where people were falling down in the streets, and that's
Yeah,
that
in the
was
beginning, yes.
another. That was to scare the population into complying, and it worked for many. And but yeah, I think they were testing that type of a system that they're going to deploy here, supposedly on the 5th. Yeah, so that's that's what we have to look forward to, is that type of control, that type of targeted attack, really. Well, yeah,
And
right,
I
Paul.
mean, yeah, all of those videos got scrubbed off YouTube. I find that funny. And then also, did you know that they've recently done some of that similar stuff over there about like welding people in their
Mhm.
houses and
Yeah,
all
they
that
scrubbed
stuff?
those videos. Those have been scrubbed. I remember the one man on the
The
sidewalk
videos
on his hands and knees, like so
having
physically.
convulsions, yeah.
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 I hope you
all
all,
the
I hope
things
you
that
all
I
remember
saw.
that.
Yeah, all the things that I saw when this first started and was from that other country, a lot of that got scrubbed off YouTube. There's just not much left of it at all. I mean, there was people falling to the ground. They had blood coming from their noses. Um,
That
and
was a
some of them were
library,
some were
which is
having
now
like
Odyssey.
convulsions.
Yeah, it'd probably be on Odyssey because that's the new library for videos. So yeah, it's probably there.
Yeah,
I'll have to check. I haven't looked for it.
Odyssey.
I had no idea it was scrubbed. Um, that's
No, it's
terrible.
not. You can't hardly find anything anymore about what happened with this in the beginning in that country.
Yeah,
Um,
that makes
BitChute
sense.
might have some stuff.
Yeah. Jeez.
But yeah, that was horrifying to see some of those examples and people
Yeah.
from that country trying to tell the truth on their channels on YouTube, and then they would disappear, those people. And, yeah, I mean, that certain country
Hey, Circle K.
is brutal.
Didn't say hi to you. Circle K says a lot of videos he saved on his channel got scrubbed this year. Yeah. Yeah. The purge is beginning, eh?
Well, you have to do, you affect, you do things to affect reality, and then you take away the proof of it,
Right. Then you can make up
That's
your own
what they're
story.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can spin history any way you want then.
Mhm. Yep. That seems to be the plan, right?
Well, we all know that history has been altered and manipulated, and
Yeah.
what's in some books isn't necessarily true. I think the older the book is, the more chance you have of it being correct.
Yeah. I've watched people's perceptions being manipulated right before my eyes, from being in fear to being almost at a point of acceptance now to their situation. Actually, doing what is wanted and what will get the most compliance. And I don't understand it. They say that what is it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a
And
different result.
expecting a different result, yes.
And look at what we're doing again and again. And they line up for it too. And they expect a different result. And,
Yes, I had to go inside the bank the other day, John, and I go up to a teller, and of course he has a mask on, and I'm familiar with this teller, from
Yeah.
previous visits, and it's been a long time since I've been inside there because, they've done away with some bank locations, and it's a whole different world now we live in. But this one is still open and has a thing where you can walk inside. So I this is what I was telling someone the other day. I don't ask people their medical information,
Mhm.
their jab status, their anything. And I don't know why, but he just started telling me that he's had 2 jabs plus the third one, the booster.
Yeah.
And was quite proud of it, and as acting as if that he had perfect protection from anything. And I know that this man he's Native American. He has a particularly unusual, unique last name, and a long time ago I asked him about it, and he said yes, he was. And because of his last name, it's quite obvious, And I live I live actually on, what do you call it, because all this land reverted back to Native Americans. So I actually live on tribal land, where I live. So in any case, I didn't know what to say to him because, you're looking at someone and you're wondering what consequences 3 jabs may have for them. You just don't
Yeah.
know.
We have some doctors that have some pretty bleak outlooks, unfortunately.
Well, my brothers had 2. The other brothers had 1. I'm almost certain that probably my sisters have had some as well. I'm the only one,
One
in
study
my
I
family.
saw, actually, those that have just a single may actually fare better than those that have absolutely none. But in other studies, that's completely contradicted. So, yeah, the outcomes are not looking good.
Well, and the brother who's had 1, guess what? He used to be a nurse.
Oh, wow.
He
And
took nursing and he studied all the same things we've studied, John. He knows them.
Yeah.
Everything that we know about what our reality really is, he knows. I
And he
was
still
shocked.
went and got one.
I was shocked that he
But he
took
didn't get
one.
his second, right? He didn't get his second.
No,
And
he hasn't gotten a
did he tell
second.
you why?
He said he's considering not getting a second because he said he did feel one. He could feel something different for a couple of days after he had it. And, I asked him, do you know what's in them? Because, see, he's segregated himself away from the rest of the family. So I hadn't even talked to him in quite a while. So, but I have recently. So
Mhm.
this is what he told me. And I'm like, well, I'm not taking any. And I told the other brother who had 2, I told him the other day, I'm not taking any, no way.
Yeah, the programming is strong. Like the fear that they induce with their numbers and colors and the expressions they use. It's very manipulative and it works. The fear in a lot of
It
people.
does.
It's still like many of them have fallen out of the fear state, but many still are stuck in it, and it's the programming.
Well,
and it works well.
my brother who's had 2, well, he had cancer, so he's had chemotherapy. So his
Mhm.
body is already compromised from having chemotherapy.
Yeah.
But, he went
If this
he
was
said,
designed to protect him, it might be a good thing, but we know that this is an experiment with,
yes,
it
it's definitely experimental.
it doesn't follow the methodology and intent of a traditional V, like
Right.
this is nothing, so this is not
Well, this brother doesn't believe in getting them.
Yeah.
However, he went to his doctor, and his doctor said, "Why haven't you had that? People are dying from that." And guess what? He started taking them. So,
Oh.
and this is a brother who doesn't believe in taking them.
All they needed.
So yes, it's quite.
It's just that's the programming, and all he needed was that little bit of reinforcement to get him to do it.
Yeah, something to make him become afraid and have a fear of becoming ill. So let's just, just put fear into him, and that'll work. And it did.
Yep. And it does work. It worked on my family members as well. So yeah, I know. And now it seems that they may possibly be suffering from that with inflammation. So.
Yes, and he has the one who's had 2. Now he's having problems in the joints where he wasn't before. But This whole thing is a medical apartheid to separate us. It's just like the politics, the red and the blue. And so now we have a medical apartheid being created to separate the jabbed from the unjabbed. It's all divisive to get us to dislike the other side. But, I don't have any dislike for people who have taken the jab. That's their personal choice. It's just a personal choice for me to not take it. But, I think we need to unite. It doesn't matter whether you've had it or not. We all need to come together,
Yeah. Well, that's happening. If you look around the world, there are, it's not protests of unvaccinated people, it's protests.
Of all people, yeah.
Of all people. Because they see once it becomes you have to get this or you're going to jail. What are you talking about? Like, why?
Yeah.
How does that work? What does that do? Because we know that this what you're doing isn't working. Like, obviously it's not working. Like, they don't know what's happening like we do, but they know that what is going on is wrong and not working, right? Getting them to realize what is actually happening to them, that's a different step that I don't think
Yes.
I don't think we are going to get to that point. Not now, anyway. We may get their organizations fighting to get to that point in the courts and in the poll of public opinion, but it's a slow win. So that'll take some time, unless it's put right in their faces somehow, like you and I. But we were sensitive to it to begin with, so it's not much of a stretch for us. For those that aren't sensitive to it, like you and I, there's nothing going on of that sort. It's a little thingy floating through the air, going to bite you.
Yes. I was telling some women in a store a day or two ago, they were talking about masks, and I said, the holes I said, it says right on the box, it doesn't stop the C thing. And, I said, the holes in the mask are too big to stop anything. I was telling these ladies that, and I'm like, trying to maybe give them a seed of waking up.
Yeah. So, you're feeding into the narrative, but you're also waking them up to the hypocrisy of the narrative, which.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain to them that the masks are meaningless. They're worthless. They don't stop anything.
Certainly can't
now
stop,
I did
radiation.
Right. Well, I was just trying to explain to them that it stops no virus because any kind of microbe is smaller than the holes in the mask. So
absolutely, yeah, it says that right on the N95 box.
Right.
Right. And if you talk to doctors, the only reason a mask really is of any use is during surgery. And that's only to stop food particles, spit, or other contaminants from getting into an open surgery. That's really...
Yeah, like when people talk, they don't realize that there are particles, moisture particles, that do come out when you talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why your mask would be getting wet while you're wearing it if you have a mask on. That's the only thing I know of that it stops, and even then, I'm sure some of that's going to go out the holes,
Yeah, it might, yeah, but it will stop any large particles. It would stop a large bacteria if you have bacteria in your mouth from getting into a wound. That bacteria is going to drop to the ground very quickly, though, like everything else. Like any droplets or anything that, you might cough out the side of your mask, which most people are going to do, so they're
right, because they don't want their mask wet.
Yeah. well, and it will just come right out the sides. So any moisture or
Oh, yeah,
moist air,
that's true.
yeah. So wet conditions ideal for bacteria to breed. That is correct, Mr. Mensa. All true. I used to work in
Yes.
surgery, says okay. That, yeah.
Yes. And I think by wearing those, you are breathing in your own, what is it?
Well, yeah, bacteria. You're growing bacteria.
Dioxide,
Yeah,
carbon
CO2.
monoxide, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Plus, you
immediately
are breathing
raises the
bacteria.
CO2 level. Yeah, people have done blood tests
So,
with that. They've done an analysis with just a meter, and immediately your CO2 level goes up. So yeah, absolutely.
yes. When you breathe out, you're exhausting certain toxins from your body. And if you have a mask over your face, you are just putting that right up against your body.
Mhm. Yep.
But of course, this is not medical advice, and we are not
Nope.
saying that anyone should or
This is
should not do any
yeah.
particular thing or another.
Yeah, we're under I have this labeled under entertainment, so it's not news, so or medical advice. No.
Right. Well, I probably should go ahead and step off the panel, John.
All right.
It was lovely talking with you
It was
again.
great having you on.
Um,
Thank you for sharing your
I
experience. I hope it's maybe some of this information will get out to more than just our little echo chamber here, and maybe it'll help some people wake up. I think most people here are woke to what's really going on out there.
mhm.
Yeah, right, Caroline. Just entertainment, folks. So, yeah. So consider trying to protect yourself. Like seriously, guys. Um, get a meter on your phone. They do work, not as well as like a dedicated EMF meter, but they will give you an overall idea of what's going on in your area, especially the ElectroSmart. I suggest that one for you guys. It'll help. So you can find areas that are safe. Um, like I have safe zones that I can go to where I know that there's not going to be a lot of EMF radiation. So that's a good suggestion for people. All right. Well,
Well,
thank you for.
I've considered like doing away with the cell phone altogether.
I considered it
So
too, but
I
the only
may adapt
problem,
that into my life. I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know that would stop them from targeting you though, because they have the recognition as well. They have
That's true.
biometrics and recognition. So they could just take an average population. They could isolate you out if they wanted to, those people who don't have cell phones, and say, find me all the people that don't have cell phones. And then we could
That's
sort
true.
through those for age, gender, and target those people.
I was thinking more on the lines of that if you decided to relocate,
Hmm.
to lose your phone about that same time, you know.
Yeah, you can still be found, though. That's the thing. I figure they've got the technology and the ability to find us no matter what.
I'm sure you're probably right. I was telling someone long ago, when we were born, I think that's when they got our DNA. When we were
Mhm.
born, they
Yeah.
have the afterbirth, they have everything right there,
Hmm.
and it's been said that, the
There's probably a digital
VATIC,
copy of our DNA walking around in a virtual world somewhere.
possibly, yes.
Yeah.
The VATICAN, I do often wonder if they don't have a database of that particular thing.
Well, some of the ingredients they put up there apparently each one can have an individual IP address. And each one can go into a cell of the body and connect with each other and communicate.
Hmm.
and receive and send
Mm-hmm. I have no
and
doubt. I mean,
upgrade.
mm,
That's scary. It's remote control pig. Have you seen the remote control pig video or any of the monkey videos where they get monkeys to feed themselves with a robot arm?
I haven't seen that, but I
Yeah,
do know a targeted person on
yeah.
YouTube who
They use
publishes
magnetic.
all the patents for the
What they've done is,
B2K and everything all the time.
yeah, what they've done in experiments is they've taken resonant magnetics and nanoparticles and used them to have one mind do the motions for another mind,
Wow.
another being. So they can remote control a person, an animal, as long as they can get the hardware in there,
Right.
right? So,
Well, you know, Rob Braxman, do you know who Rob Braxman is?
no,
This is the thing he was saying. He's quite knowledgeable in all the technology
awesome.
stuff. He has a channel, ROB, the last name BRAXMAN. You know, he talks way above my head on technology. I'm technically challenged. So he sells de-Googled phones, and he puts out information on his channel all the time about things people should do to protect themselves with technology. Well, he did a video the other day that he said people are concerned about getting a chip from a VAX. He said, but
Yeah,
you already have a chip. It's your cell phone.
yeah, yeah. And your skin is being used as a micro antenna. The microwaves they're using are the same size as the pores and channels in your skin.
It's terrifying when you think about it. If you sit and think about all these things, and you know,
It
a
is.
person could really become quite afraid. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we should be very wary. Um, that's why, because today in my area, and I think you guys should all take note of this, because it's going to happen everywhere. I can guarantee it. They have been doing +5s on my meter, which is 73. They haven't done +7s, but they are really hammering it out, guys. Today, especially starting. So,
Oh yeah, well, you know, there's the holiday coming up, and they need to blame that on the C word, so they have to crank it up.
get a meter on
Yeah.
your phone. Find a place in your house where there's low EMF, and predominantly stay in that area. Please,
You know,
guys, you'll
people are going to be gathering for the
seriously.
holiday.
Yeah, and
So
that's what they're
in
going to
order to
blame.
in order to make it look like the C word, they have to crank it up.
Yes. Yep. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to blame it on us getting together, because I took a poll at work and nobody is going to pay attention to these mandates at the moment.
Hey, John, will you be sure to pay attention around the New Year's holiday too to see if it gets cranked up?
Yes, it should. I've tracked it in the past, and they do. They definitely do.
Okay.
Yeah, they follow cycles, daily cycles as well. They generally will hit higher at around 5 o'clock dinner time.
Oh, when
Yeah,
people are leaving work.
yeah, when 5 to 6 o'clock in most areas, when people are gathering together for dinner, right? So you're at the table with your
Mhm.
family, getting irritated by frequencies, and then they hit
Wow.
you at 8 o'clock when you're putting your kids to bed, and then they'll hit you again at around 11 when you're going to bed, or most people are going to bed.
Right.
Yeah. And then they'll do a day where they don't do anything to you, right? And that's to make sure you don't get used to that type of a cycle.
That's what I was thinking. So you cannot adapt to it.
Yeah, you can't adapt to it. They've randomized it. to such a point, because when in the summertime they don't hit us as hard because we're not supposed to get colds as much in the summer. So they flatten out the wave, and they keep it rather low on the power level,
Mm-hmm.
which they could do all year long, but they choose not to. That's how purposely you can see when you track it. They've done it. It's definitely on purpose. Everything they do is designed to disrupt. At the
I don't
optimal time.
know how we combat this, John. I don't know. I mean, except
I'm
for some of
looking
the
at
things
different
you
ideas.
said.
Yeah, I'm looking at different ideas. I've had some success with restless leg syndrome through a bracelet. Now, I don't know if it's just the bracelet. I'm going to experiment with this more. But I designed a bracelet with the negative pole,
Mm-hmm.
and that seems to help restless leg. I keep it on my ankle so I can sleep
Oh,
comfortably at night without jerking around. My feet, my feet still jerk, but it used to be my whole leg would jerk right up to my hip. Hi,
Wow.
hi, Ransom. How you doing? Merry Christmas. But that seems to help. I sleep under EMF protective sheets. I wear EMF protective clothing. All these little layers of protection seem to help. And as you add layers, you're adding protection, and it seems to get a little better. I have the pendant that I believe acts somewhat. I think that a lot of these things act as antenna, drawing in the non-ionizing radiation and drawing them off of my skin. So I have things like that. So try things, guys. Try different ideas. If you come up with some idea you think might work, try it for a while. See if it has an effect. I suggest you try and invest in some protective clothing, some shielded clothing. Although I don't think that'll work against 5G. It'll offer some protection, and if you have a meter on your phone, the ElectroSmart comes with an alarm built in, so you can have an alarm go off at whatever setting you want it to, so that you'll know if that area is being bombarded with higher EMF.
Well, I've with what's gone on with me and
So I would
the
make that a
state of
priority,
things.
hon. Get that meter on your phone. Make it a priority, because
Yes.
if they bombard you again, I hate to think what would happen to you, because you're still suffering at the moment.
Right. With my situation as it is and the situation I've been put into, most likely I will never, and this is just because of what I'm trying to do to take care of myself, but I will never most likely work a full-time job again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to arrange it where I won't have to. I may have to work part-time, and I may have to still go out into society. I don't know. That's left to be seen,
Jesus. So
But
they've
about almost 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I've been trying to get off of the oxygen. So, you can tell that I still have an issue going on,
Yeah.
but I wanted to try to make my lungs kick back in the rest of the way and not be dependent upon oxygen. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Ask yourself for some healing. I'll send some healing your way if you want it.
Well, thank you. Yes, I do think that we can send each other healing energy. I'm actually a Reiki master myself. And here's the thing is I think all the time about helping others, and I forget about myself. It's kind of strange how that works.
Yeah,
You don't
well,
think
you
about
should.
healing yourself.
Well,
You think
if
about
you're
others.
the healer, but if you're a healer, we need you in good health, right? To heal.
Yes.
That's good.
I have a mentor here
You had
who
a
is,
good suggestion. Wheat
act-
cookies.
yeah. I have a mentor here where I live who does Reiki on me all the time.
Mhm.
And I have the ability to, let's just put it this way, I have the ability to be able to see when he's doing it. I see a certain thing in my mind's eye, and he does it all the time. I think he's done it for so long, it's an automatic thing with him now. And
We were just talking
it's
about
funny
your show,
because
Ransom. Go ahead.
other
Sorry.
other people that he knows can see him do it as well. I'm not the only one. So, but anyway, he's been doing that on me for me for years, So I'd hate to think of what condition I would be in if he wasn't sending me healing
Yeah.
energy.
Oh, what did I do?
But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
Oh, I was just Ransom there. We were just talking about his show. I was going to put the link in there for him. No, that's not the link. Oh, no. That's not the link. StreamYard. Yeah, I was just commenting that we were talking about his channel and the magnetic north moving.
And whose channel is that?
Freedom Films, 420 Freedom TV, Freedom at Ransom.
Oh,
Ransom
I
Godwin.
don't know. The name's
Unbanned
familiar.
after
I don't know that I've seen
he got his channel banned last night.
it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I caught quite a bit of your show last night, Ransom. Not the whole thing, unfortunately, but yeah. What, Circle K? Your whole face swelled up.
Uh-oh. What happened to Circle K?
I'm looking. What happened, Circle K? Almost happened to me too. I almost died over a rotten tooth. Oh my God!
Oh.
Yeah, that can happen.
That's
Ransom.
blood poisoning, yes.
Yeah, I've found the methodology for that. What happened? I and others around me, I've tracked this for 2 years, have similar thing. In the winter, when they crank it up, we get nasal infections. Those nasal infections go down into the root of the tooth, and
Wow.
they sit there and fester. And I've been fighting a nasal infection and teeth problems at the same time for years, especially come the fall, winter time. So that's the process that it happens by. I've lost teeth from it as well. You can eventually lose teeth from it. So, hey, D-Ocean. Yeah, that's they banned his channel after last night's show. You said some wrong stuff.
Uh-oh. I didn't. What was the show about? Just talk in code.
Resets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And all the associated signs and setups and yeah, just the whole thing. It's just coming at it from a point of it coming up to an ice age, a new ice age. But it's another reset. Like you were saying, like we were talking about the pole shift. And
Right.
that channel that you're talking about is that's who Ransom Godwin has on is David Dubine, who uses the information of the guy that you were mentioning.
Right. Well,
So
yeah,
he
and
is up to date on where the whole head swelled up, all the glands, man,
that's
my eyes
awful.
were blurry. Oh my God.
Well,
Wow.
and that's septicemia. I mean, a blood, I mean, like a tooth problem will cause people who have died from that in the olden
Oh
days.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's blood
And you,
poisoning in your blood.
yeah, you can die from it now. Yeah.
Yes. What I was going to tell you is that's the gist of Maverick Star is that it's going to become colder and colder in the northern hemisphere, and the cold is going to go further down in the northern hemisphere than it did before, and like a mini ice age.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it. I think they can bring that on too if they want. We're kind of getting the experience of that now. And we were after the tornadoes went through Texas and that area. When they go across 4 states, that's unheard of, really. In
Right, when it stays on
my
the ground for,
recollection,
yeah.
you know, that's. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's manipulation. See, there are treaties between countries that they will not use that type of weaponry on each other. But I don't. That treaty doesn't cover using it on your own people. That's,
Well, and do they even really follow the treaties is the question. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. Well, to some, if they're just using it on their own people, then they are following the treaty, right? I'm not using it on your country. I'm using it on mine. You know.
That's
That's
true.
right. Regal Zetox, Deocean says, really, really helped her freedom. If you want to try that.
Hey, Ocean. Sorry, I can't see the
Oh
chat
yeah,
right
so
now.
he
But
was talking about gotcha freedom or gotcha ransom. Yeah. Okay. I won't say that, so we won't talk about that because in Canada I'm not supposed to talk bad about that thing, or I will get banned. I can mention it, but I can't talk bad about it. That's the only thing.
yeah, Australia has become that way as well. They arrested Ken Rotman
Oh,
for a YouTube video he did.
yeah, they're trying to put in speech laws that talk about such things like censoring such speech and like that on the internet. And of course, we know that they won't stop there. They'll eventually, as they've done before, we have speech laws that were pronoun speech laws that can land you in jail. Uh, now we have further laws restricting certain therapies from being discussed or talked about that can
Hmm.
land you in jail. Yeah, it's well, we're just behind Australia. In different ways, we're pretty much there. We've been on constant lockdown of some level for 2 years. Uh, medium and small businesses going completely out.
Yes.
I don't think they'll make it through much more of this. And then maybe the rebellion will start. That, of course, they're quite prepared for. So, and that will continue on the plan. If we can make some type of a peaceful transition to a reasonable government in this time, we could make it through this in one piece. Well, with of course the associated death and destruction they've caused already, and the upcoming death and destruction. But yeah, if people could wake up and do it properly, not rebel, just decline, don't accommodate, don't go along, because most people here now are not liking the idea of boostamajibs. They think that that's kind of we've done our part. What happened, right? You guys said we do our part. We're done. Well, the hardest part about the first 2 weeks to flatten the curve is the first 2 years, right?
Right. That's the toughest part is it's not 2 weeks, it's 2 years. And you
Yeah.
know, that guy, that teller at the bank said that to me the other day. He has done his part
Hmm.
by
And
taking
they
3
did.
jabs.
And you know what? I admire people for that. You know, I, I don't admire them for it. I understand it,
Right.
and they thought that they were doing something good for everyone else.
They thought they were doing the right thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know people that have said I did it, just for me to so that I could go anywhere I want. Different reasons, but those people that say, that did it so that we could get out of this, I appreciate those people. They were duped, unfortunately, but I do appreciate their efforts. Um, I hope they do start to realize that that's not the way out. That non-compliance is probably the best way. Peaceful non-compliance and change of government. Uh, you know, that's a good one, Paula. Vaccine. That's awesome.
Yes.
So there is a
Well, I
way out
don't know
of
what's
this.
going to become of us, but
Well, there is a way out
yeah,
of
I don't know
this,
what.
but I don't know. Finish your thought. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't know what's to become of us, but we just have. I mean, to me, I just in speaking from my own personal point of view, you just have to do whatever you can to maneuver through this
Yeah.
time that we're having. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to hold on, like those, those that haven't gone in for their uh, thingy, we'll say. Uh, Hold on, because you're the test subject. We're the control, and that's what they really need to get rid of is the control in their study. Uh, that's why they're after everybody so fervently. Because if you have a control in the study, you will be able to show, like is coming out, there is absolutely no difference, and these things could be actually potentially worse in the immediate and the long run. So, for many age groups, especially the young. So yeah, it is. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. Mensa. Well, and we are doing, do our part on a constant basis. Try and talk to people. Try, if you can make one person think, um, maybe something's wrong. That passes on. You know, so every mind we can break out of the programming is one more person that's going to be able to help us in the end. So doing, talk to people. I know you guys probably do. I probably don't even have to mention it, but yeah, you're right, Scotty boy. I don't appreciate ignorance, but they're manipulated, Scotty boy. That's the problem. They've been manipulated. They're under MK Ultra mind control, and they have been for 2 years, and it's effective, and it's devastating. And they've practiced this for many years to come to this point. So, yeah, don't be so mad at those people, who've fallen for it. I pity them, and in some cases, I appreciate their efforts. So it's a hard
Yeah.
thing.
In their in their life, to them that was the right choice for them.
Yeah.
And I do think that it may come a time whenever they're going to need our help.
Mhm.
They may become
Yeah.
so ill, we may have to be taking care of these people, and there's no point in having, like, anger or anything about it. because all this is done intentionally to us to, just like I said, it's a medical apartheid to separate and to make one group dislike the other. So, I don't want to do that. That's just my personal point of view.
Yeah. I'm looking for solutions.
Yes,
Like the
me as
Ezra
well.
Wellness Center. The detox bath. I would suggest you try that, hun. Just Epsom salts, boron, and baking soda.
Do you
That's
know
what
what a
they use.
float tank is?
Well, several different types, like a float tank, like a deprivation tank.
Yes, similar.
Okay.
I think there may be one here. I'm going to have to check into that.
Okay. Just for your spiritual journey, or are you
Well, there's a
talking about?
wellness center that has, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it.
Okay. Do they use it like a detox bath as well? I guess maybe. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I don't know what all they have. I've went there before, but only to use a particular, and I'm sorry, I can't even think of what it's called because it's been so long since I went there. I'll have to look into it and try to find more information on it again.
But that's
There's a
good start.
machine. Yeah, there's a machine that flashes certain images, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, John. It's to help your spiritual development, and I cannot even think of the name of it. But it's like there's a spa place that has that, and I'm thinking they have the float tanks as well.
Color therapy.
It's not called that.
What do they do? What's the process?
They have an oxygen bar where you can get oxygen, like just all different things there.
Okay. Yeah, I would give that a try. See if they have anything for detox. Maybe you could even explain to them. I don't know if they would be awake enough. That would be awesome, to have a place that's awake enough to understand exactly what happened to you, and not the mainstream narrative of what they told you happened. That would be amazing. But you could tell them that you're looking to detox, maybe, and get some information, and see maybe if they're awake enough to, it's a hard pill for most people to swallow. I don't know why they just have this wall. I've talked to people about it, and you can see the wall go up immediately. Like they understand that it can do things to them. They do understand that, but they don't understand. There's a wall where, yeah, it can do some things, but no, it can't do that. It can't do any more. Can't do this, and they just don't believe it, and it's hard to get past that wall.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it is with my family. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, the only people that I know that like are full in, like I know for sure, are those who have taken some of my suggestions and gotten themselves protection. They notice the difference. One guy even has a completely shielded room now. He put 2 Freedom Grower. I think he wasn't here. He was here last night. He's got two shipping containers welded together as a room. Like that would be awesome if we could all have that. I'd prefer that we take over the system and revamp it. Because when I was a kid, they told us that the wireless was going to that was going to make us happy and healthy, because they were going to pump out frequencies that helped our attitude and our mood, that we were going to be happy all the time because of it. And they've used it to do the exact opposite, So,
well, you know, whatever they say, the exact opposite is what's true.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah. That's right, Tony. They
Well,
don't want two types
you
of
know,
people.
I mean, like the metal structures, I mean, I've heard, like, spiritually speaking, that that's not good for you. I don't know, you know?
Hmm.
It's being said like a metal roof, or a metal structure, and Dan Winter is the one who says that. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with his channel. I'm sure you are.
Dan, say again.
Dan Winter.
I've heard of him. I can't
Yeah.
watch everybody.
Well, you know, he talks another language, so it's a little hard to follow him sometimes. But
Okay.
he was saying houses with metal roofs are not good for
Yeah.
you spiritually because it it blocks you from receiving certain energies. You know.
Okay. I could make
So
sense of
I don't
that.
know about the
I don't
metal
know that.
structures. Yeah, I don't know about people take those shipping containers and make houses out of them. You know.
Yeah. Um, the only, well, the question would be are you getting more damage from what they're putting out? Or,
Well, I'm talking about the
then,
natural healing energies
yeah,
are being blocked from you.
yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, you got to weigh the
So maybe
pros and
that's
cons
something
of
we
that,
should
right?
investigate more.
Yeah, you'd have to weigh the pros and cons of that. Like if you could have like grounding in that, like that entire structure, you could have it grounded, and you would be grounded to the earth. So you would be,
Well, that's a good idea.
you know, so yeah, I don't know. I could really mostly only see benefits because they're not able to attack you there. You can ground to the
Mm-hmm.
earth. So the healing should happen. Like you can't stop the cosmic energies. You can block the EMF in that, but you can't really block cosmic energies. So I would say the healing would still
Mm-hmm.
come in.
You know,
Yeah,
I saw something on the mylar type fabric where you could take that and put it on the ceilings, and that they cannot target you.
yeah.
Don't know if that's true or not, but
Well, it would Mylar will block a small percentage, not
mm-hmm.
won't stop it all, but it will help stop a small percentage. Like I've noticed with the clothing, a difference, and then with layering, I've noticed a difference as well. So I know
Mm-hmm.
that I'm sure in my mind anyway. I can't say this is medical advice, but protecting yourself does seem to work. And
Mm-hmm.
most people that have taken up clothing and protection like that have noticed a difference with their body's function, even
Yeah.
digestion and all of that straightened out, ailments gone away, things like that for me. So yeah, supposedly thinner is better. I don't know about that, the ocean. I'm not sure about that. I kind of I'm skeptical on that. I think layers and thick, thick layers, because that seems to be what works with the 5G phones. As I said before, there was a guy that designs these protective cases for phones, and he had to triple his layer and come up with a combination of metals that worked to block 5G. So, yeah, and they're thick layers, like heavy materials. It takes a lot to stop it. So, yeah, I would be skeptical of that information. That thinner would be better. Um, Maybe thinner but multiple layers. That could be better. Um, that would be a possibility in my mind. Yeah, I would. But me, I'm going to go thick and many.
Thick and lots of layers.
Yep, that's my idea. I'm probably going to be dressed up eventually, like one of the guys like one of the priests that used to go into the Holy of Holies. Have you seen them? And there's a guy I watched, Def Mike, on D Live. He's on Odyssey as well. You guys should check him out. He's really into the EMF now. He understands and is woken to that fact and is really working on protection. He's driven, like I am, to find more and more protection. I've tried various experiments. I'm working on some antenna technology to see, but I have to wait until I get my meter so I can tell if my technology is drawing any of the radiation out of the area. I'm hoping it does. Some of it's based on like Tesla, some on some more modern interpretations of magnetics and electrics and things like that. But keep trying stuff, guys. If you find stuff, ways you think that might help, try it, and search it out because it's going to be needed.
Yes, and if they can, to please share the information with us of whatever they find out so that we can all keep sharing information and helping each other.
Yeah, exactly. I try and share everything that I've learned. So, and I know you do too. I appreciate that. What's his channel name again? Oh, what was that? Yeah, I was going to check that out too. What is his channel name? The last one you mentioned.
Oh, Dan Winter?
Dan Winter. Okay, let me get Maverick restarted. I'll sub him.
He used to be associated with a particular man, and that man has passed away. And of course, once again, I can't remember that man's name. But anyway, Dan Winter is a little bit more scientific, and he knows a lot about.
Yeah, John C.
Spiritual
Lilly that
matters.
created the Lilly wave. He went kind of crazy into the spiritual realm, but he, they've really targeted him. He invented some of the technologies that's being used on us right now. But he went to the spiritual side, but after they attacked him, and he was never the same after.
Yeah, and what you might find interesting also is that Dan Winter is in another country. He's not in the U.S. He is an American, but he's not living here. And he also has had an illness as well. He has gone through the illness.
Yeah. Yeah, they can do several things to you. They know the frequency of every organ in your body, and they can can be targeted as well. Yeah. I'm wondering, D-Ocean, if if copper on the body just acts as an antenna to draw. What happens is if you get an abundance of positive ions on a surface, there are electrical vortices or eddy currents that are created, little vortices, and they drill. And this is what currently causes the cell destruction and problems like that. And it may be that they're acting as a antenna to draw that off and neutralize it.
Yeah, whenever I became ill, I had no copper on me or around me. Like there's some in my house, but I was wearing nothing copper.
Yeah, and at night I wear 2 bracelets on my legs to stop my legs from kicking. It is like I feel the energy being drawn to them. At a point, it's almost like a pinching. Like it's just going like from my feet up and from my legs down. Except I don't
really. And are these copper?
Yeah, they are. They are copper.
Okay.
So I've attached a power source to them, but I'm going to try without a power source and see if that does it as well. If that actually stops it. So I've taken they had magnets in them, but I took those out.
There is blankets and things you can put on your bed that go under your sheet or something that are for protect, like grounding you and that type of thing. I can't recall, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not like I've been out of the loop a little bit, so I'm kind of like
Well,
out of the loop.
another couple of suggestions is a piece of soap under your at the foot of your bed, under your sheets, or a dryer sheet. Can draw
And what does
off,
that do?
that will draw off static electricity.
Oh, okay.
So any free electrons that are floating on the surface should go to the dryer sheet, in theory. Did we lose you, Crystal? Right, Tony? Yeah. I've heard that too. Put a lemon in every room and it will show you where the bad energy is. That's a good idea. Yeah. Or you could get a meter. There is the ElectroSmart meter on your phone and several others that you can use that they'll work adequately enough, because the phones that will run those apps, because some won't. My phone won't run them because it doesn't have an acceleratron or a magnetron in it. Sorry. Most smartphones, if they're a higher end, will have a magnetron in them, which means that they will be able to detect electromagnetic power sources, such as cell towers, electrical lines, everything. So your cell phone will work as an EMF meter. I have decided to get a dedicated one, because either I have to buy a new phone, and I don't want to get a 5G phone. This one's not a 5G phone, although I think it's 5G capable. Yeah, I don't want to get one, so I decided to get a dedicated EMF meter. And if I ever decide to get rid of my phone, I've still got a warning system.
Right.
Yeah, excellent, Scotty boy. And the ElectroSmart, if you go into the settings, you can set it to have an alarm at whatever number you set it at. So say you live in an area where the average is 70, and you want to know if it's going to go above that. So you set it to 72, and every time it hits 72, an alarm will go off, and you can pick the alarm, the ringtones for the alarm. It's got all those and everything. So try that, guys.
Yeah, my phone is really old, and it's not 5G either.
No, you don't need a 5G phone.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying I don't have a 5G phone.
Yeah,
thankfully mine is an old phone.
I think a lot of them are 5G capable still. If it's
mine is years and years old.
Yeah.
But it says on it it's like 2 or 3G, I think. But I think any G is bad for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could be used in a bad way. There was a Russian scientist who apparently tried to use it in a good way. I don't know that he had very much success, but he tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there really doesn't seem to be much of a positive use for this type of technology. I think they can probably just mitigate its impact, but I don't think that they can make it give you benefits. Maybe some of the mood enhancements, and if they decided to, I don't know how far they could take it. They could take it to healing, but right now they're using it in the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's the way it seems. Like the technology that could be used for good is not used for good.
Yeah.
Well, all right. John, I'm going to go ahead and step off. I'm
all right.
A little bit tired.
Well, thank you for staying on as long as you did. Yeah, you were getting tired a while ago there, and you stuck.
Yeah, it's
I appreciate it.
Lovely to speak to everyone. Much love to everyone, and everyone stay safe. And everyone, let's all stay together and use our togetherness against this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And if you guys find any more information, please share it. You know, if you guys have
Yeah.
any information now, please share it on how we can protect ourselves. It's called the ElectroSmart, Scotty boy. I'll grab you the. I think it's available for all devices, but with the Apple proprietary ones, you have to purchase it.
Yeah, I think there is a free one. I looked on
Yeah,
the
I
store
use a free
before,
one.
but
And
anyway,
yeah, thank
I
you
will
again.
talk to you all later, and love everyone, and everyone take care.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, John. I'll speak with you later.
All right, bye, hon.
Bye.
Quite an experience she had going through all that. I pray for her daily. She's asked for us to send some healing, so let's all take a moment and send Crystal some healing. She needs to get over this and hopefully get back to her full life, you know. If anyone else has anything to say, I posted the link. I'll stay up for a few more minutes. And, it's getting close to dinner time, but if anyone has any comments or questions, I can keep going for a little while. Yeah, I hope she gets the full healing that's available to her from proper lifestyle and meditation and the process of healing that comes from what we talked about earlier with the Christ story, how the Christ story mirrors the process in the body. And if we live a good life and keep our thoughts lifted, we can take advantage of that process. 12 times a year, almost 13, every 31 and a quarter days. Yeah, such a beautiful soul, right, Scotty boy? I haven't heard from you on my channel ever, Freedom. You wanna pop up here, Ransom? Say howdy do and promote your channel. We'd love to hear a little bit about your show last night because I didn't catch the whole thing. It's pretty easy on this. You on a phone or anywhere, you can just hit that link and come on in. It works pretty good. I love StreamYard for that. I liked Taps for a while, but they stopped working for me. They told me I didn't have enough subscribers to post videos. So can't use them anymore. Healing's already there. Right on, Scotty boy. Yeah, I saw some other people send some healing your way. I think everybody did. Healing in abundance, love to all. Cool. Now, we don't want to have any bad feelings towards anyone. Even those perpetrating this, they are abused as well. They've been abused generationally. They've been abused in their own lives. They're abused mentally. They are the sickest among us. All they're doing really is sharing their sickness. They have technologies now to reprogram us. Have they ever thought that maybe these technologies might just be used to reprogram them and free us? Like I say, if this goes right, if we can turn this to go the right way, we could end up with a utopia if we can get control of the systems and get rid of all these non-government organizations that have nothing to do with our benefit. We could do some amazing things. Except them. Oh. Am I trying to get banned? Yeah, I know. Talking all nice about stuff. Yeah, it'd be great if we could just, if we could transition our knowledge to other people and make them understand that, you know, their life could be a virtual utopia if things were done properly. Like one of the first things that'll get me banned is, say you take all this fake money that people have accumulated and you delete it. Instantly your dollar is worth multiple times more, 10 times more, 100 times more. If we just deleted their ill-gotten gains, you know. Oh, Scotty boy. Right? So that's, you know, that's possible. If we could get people in places, people to speak up and stand in the places of these shills that are actually understanding what's going on and understand the hypocrisy and the lies. Throw a link? Okay. Yeah, we could turn this entirely around. We could have maybe even 120 years of prosperous, vital, non-decaying life, you know, deciding when to give up the ghost ourselves, not letting them decide. We could do a land redistribution like they did in India. They took back all the land from the British and they redistributed it amongst the locals. There are many programs and things that have worked, you know. Uh-oh. My lighter's dying. This might be a problem. I might have to shut it down. What's that? To come in, join, John. That's Dan Winter. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry about that. I was wondering where you went. Too bad you can't just slap the pie. No, Scotty boy. I know that's the programming it's so deep. It when they took over the media. Too bad you can't. Oh, when they took over the media, like, you know, and nobody realized it, and they don't, you know, everything's coming one-sided. They just don't see it, you know. They don't question it. Hi, Paula. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I wanted to come in earlier, but I was getting a turkey in the oven. Faraday cage, metal roof. That does protect you from outside influences where
I would think so, yeah.
those things are coming from, the things we can't really talk about, the G's.
Mm-hmm.
So Faraday cage is handy for that. And my husband had an idea, instead of buying all that expensive stuff to put up on your ceiling or your walls in your bedroom, use
Yeah.
tinfoil.
Yep. Yep. You can use
It's
tinfoil. It's a
For broke
substantial.
people, tinfoil.
It's a substantial barrier. It is. Yep. You can try wrapping your phone in tinfoil and trying to get a call through to it. And if you do it properly and seal up all the edges, you shouldn't get a signal through.
Yep. And then you invited Freedom in, and I was like, are you trying to get banned? He couldn't tell the truth on his channel without getting banned before the Nazis took over. He ain't gonna get a word in edgewise now.
Oh. Well, I have a delay on this, so I can catch them. Hi, how you doing, Ocean? How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
I just got in.
Mhm.
I did my shopping. They just happened to have a sale at Acme as I was picking up a few last minute. Wow, my wind blown. A few last minute items. And poinsettias were only $1 a piece, so everybody's getting a poinsettia.
Nice.
unless you,
Poinsettia
have
for everybody.
unless you have cats, then you should not get one, because if your cat eats
Well,
it,
mine doesn't chew on. Mine doesn't like plants. He won't go near them, so he doesn't even like them. So mine's pretty safe. But yeah, not planning on giving them to people with cats unless they know the danger of them.
right.
I usually don't buy them. In fact, I haven't bought them for years, but this time I did because my cat has absolutely no interest in.
I get fake
Yeah.
flowers, and when they get dirty, you just wash them off, and they're better.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have gifts for everybody. They're like $1 a piece. Okay,
Right?
just give them
Oh, I tried this year one of those old time things for around Christmas. I took I took a clementine. Usually, you take an orange, and you stuff a bunch of cloves into it, and it really makes your house smell nice.
I saw
Oh,
a post on Facebook today that I think, in fact, Dark Truth reshared it from someone, I don't remember who, but it was, I'm going to go crawl underneath the Christmas tree to remind my family that I am the gift. Because I've always been so broke that I could never afford to get anybody gifts. And so they always looked down on me. But here I am.
rock you like a hurricane. Oh, sorry.
They're okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was a song cue.
What are you talking
Hey,
about?
there you go. It was.
It fits.
It does fit.
You lost me,
It does
Scotty.
fit.
If the shoe fits.
When I get angry, I am like a hurricane. But also,
Yeah,
when
no
I'm
kidding.
positive, it is also like a hurricane.
Mhm.
So either way I go, it's a hurricane. Either hurricane
Well, it ain't a
of love
hurricane.
or a hurricane of anger. The
Ain't a
choice is
hurricane.
theirs.
No,
What?
we got to be hurricanes. We're not hurricanes.
What's a
Unless
hurricane?
unless you're transgendered or something.
Him a cane?
Oh, no.
Aren't any hurricanes.
It's a cane?
I'm trying to be like, you know what? There was this person on, and I'm going to be delicate how I say this, but there seems to be 3 types of people right now that 3 opinions about our current crisis. There are people who are now,
Mhm.
well, there's more than that, but just
Yeah.
broadly, there are people who don't believe anything they're being told.
Yeah.
There are people who do believe everything they're being told, although a lot of them are getting very, kind of getting sketched out a little bit now, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But there are these people in the middle
Hmm.
that are so weird. And I mean, and I'll describe it like this. There was this girl, she puts videos up, and they're usually either humorous or random factoids or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's saying, well, I got my unmentionable vacated, early in the year, in the spring. And then in August, I got the C word. And then now it's getting around the holidays, and I'm kind of worried. I don't want, in this new thing, I don't want to give it to my family. I want to go home for the holidays. So I'm taking a test. And the whole thing was supposed to be about her taking a C19 test.
Mm-hmm.
But so she takes the test and she's negative, and she's happy about that. And she goes, oh, now I better go get vacated because, just to be sure. Like, now, wait. You just told me you've already been vacated, and you've already told me that you've already had it, and now you're going to get vacated again, even though you're negative. Oh, wait a minute here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she thinks the first one worked. I don't know. Like, that seems to be the ideology of people like this. Doing
Well, she
the
said
same.
she got it in August.
Yeah, I know, but they're doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
And I don't
That's
care
exactly what I wrote. I said, that is funny, girl. It's like you're telling me that you're doing the same thing over, expecting a different result. That is hilarious. Congrats. You got me to laugh.
That's the definition of insanity.
That it is, and I don't care what people say. They say that's not the definition of insanity. It never was. I'm sorry, but way before I had internet, and all I had was a dictionary. Before they started changing shit recently on the internet, it was that.
I think it's more of a saying, but yeah.
Is doing the same thing over and over.
It's
again.
close enough.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
It is, and I'm sticking to it, and I ain't changing it just because they changed it on the internet. No.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing being that how do you get through to a person, that is saying, now this is another thing, is that being vacated is supposed to protect you, but somehow me, for not being vacated, I'm a threat.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That is illogical.
Yeah.
That makes no logic either.
No, if the thing you took protects
I'm a ticking time bomb.
If the thing
because
protects you, why do you need to be protected from the people that haven't done the thingy?
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, but people are backwards. It's like they're backwards thinking, and some of them have gone right off the deep edge.
Yeah.
I swear, right off the deep edge.
I saw a man I spoke to on the elevator. I asked him I just randomly asked him, I said, do you have your passport? And he said, oh yeah, I got my passport. I said, all I get is a Jewish star on my arm. And he got off the elevator and he spoke like a demon. He was like, I can't wait to get more. And he literally shook his head and did this whole thing with his tongue like he was possessed.
Oh my God.
You know what?
He may have been just acting it up. I'm sure
I've seen that.
Thing, but it's a very bizarre behavior.
Yes. When I say, oh my God, I mean my higher
And we
self.
wonder if this is like demonic possession or.
It is. Hello, divine.
Or do they think they're funny?
Or do they think they're funny?
Or are they just doing this for effect? Or
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Well, it's possible, Paul. I'm not saying it absolutely is, but we can think of it as a possibility for sure. Like, this was an older gentleman, like not a young punk or anything. You wouldn't really expect this type of behavior out of somebody like this.
there's a lot of real weird stuff going on with people. There's as far as I can see, I saw somebody, now this is just holiday stuff, but I need a motor cart to get around a big store because my back, okay? and, other stuff.
Yep.
And so I'm walking towards a cart, and this other woman comes running right in front of me, gets in it, and I said, well, I need that. And she just didn't say it. She just looked at me, glared at me. I said, it's okay. I'll get another one. And she didn't seem like she needed it that bad. But anyway, because she was moving pretty fast to get in front of me to cut me off, And I said, it's okay. And I asked the guy who was working there, I said, can you get me one from the other side, please? Sure. And I, kind of leaned on something, waiting for it. And I said, it's okay, honey. I'll just have this guy get some. You have a, you just go right ahead and have a nice day. And she's there. I will. I know it's okay.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, and Merry Christmas, by the way.
Yeah.
And happy holidays, whatever it
Yeah.
is you celebrate.
Right.
Yeah, nice people.
I'm like, yeah, that's just, lovely, just
Yeah.
great. On the way out, I sang Christmas carols on the way out of the store, and everybody just loved that.
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something a little wrong with people. They're just not thinking right.
Yeah.
And some of my friends, I hate to say, one of my friends
Mm-hmm.
that a victim of gang stalking that I have spoken of, her wallet washed up out of a river.
Oh, wow.
Somebody found her wallet.
Great.
Is she missing? Or
Well,
you have to give us a little more
there is
information.
a long story. I'll tell it at some point, but
Okay.
and apparently the way that it's described is she thought she was being chased, and she actually swam across a river
Okay.
to get away. And then we're not sure. It gets jumbled from there.
Okay. But she is alive, or is she?
We don't know.
Okay. That's what I was going to get.
But
to.
she did show up in some people's yards trying to get
Okay.
help. And she actually impressed the police because she managed to get across a river that a lot of people don't make it across.
Hmm.
So she's a strong swimmer, though.
Yeah, I guess.
I
so.
don't know what happened to her. I don't know for sure what happened. Her mother tried calling around, and I'm sure there's way more to this story. I'm sure there's way more, but
Mhm.
some prayers for her. If she's alive, she's probably in a psych ward
Mm.
because she was released from a psych ward. Because she has kind of gone around a bit, and talking to her, it's very hard to talk to her now. She is so frightened and hyper religious, very hyper religious,
Dear God.
and totally terrified,
Yeah.
and doesn't want to talk to any, but she's afraid to talk on the same phone twice, and
Mhm.
so I don't know. If you whatever you believe in, this girl needs help if she's still around with us, and we don't know. We don't know what her status is. Her parents don't know. Nobody knows. Seems to know what her status is. So it's getting kind of rough out there, folks. Don't go nuts.
Yeah,
Right.
watch out, guys. Watch out on the roads, because we've had people having heart attacks and strokes on the roads. They've increased the range of Bluetooth in these new cars, and that seems to be having an effect on people.
Exactly. Yep.
Mhm.
And if you're not using your Bluetooth on your phone or your tablet, turn it off.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, don't leave Bluetooth on.
Don't just leave it on. No.
I've got to go get some dinner, guys. I've made it way past my dinner time, but this was awesome. I've got to get class later tonight, where we'll have some fun. awesome time. I hope.
I'm planning on being on like tonight or tomorrow some point.
Awesome.
I got a few things to talk about, but it's
Yeah.
like nice to be
You
on.
can
Thanks
give
for
us-
having me.
You can give us some further on that story. Yeah. That'll be
Hey,
awesome.
you like my new name change, Ocean's Deep Woo? Is this new?
It
Does
says
this new
the
title
Ocean
make my?
Swinger here.
It's Deep Woo now.
Oh,
Well,
it
it
just says
doesn't
it
say
says the
that.
Ocean Swinger here.
Yeah, you got to
Well,
change
it says it here, but if you look at chat, it says the Ocean's Deep Woo.
Oh, okay.
Let's check it out.
Okay, because I thought I
Oh,
just
yeah.
needed something
There we
more
go.
descriptive.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to
I
change
needed
it
to.
in StreamYard.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, next time around I will. When
On
I
your
go
way
up.
in, when you're joining someone or whatever. Yeah.
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 Next time around.
Mr. Mensa, get some boron, some Epsom salts, and some baking soda. 1 cup of each. Have a nice hot bath. That's what's recommended for detoxing from the Russians when they detoxed from their experiments. So
We need a recipe book.
yeah, that one's pretty
Recipe
easy
book
to
for
remember.
surviving.
That one's pretty easy to remember. So give that a try, guys. That'll even help from all kinds of things.
I only have a shower, so I'm going to have to do something different, but I'll
Yeah.
think
Well,
of something.
Give it a
One
try.
of the things that we can learn to use to survive is to remember that everything's a psyop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice plug, Paula.
Right on, yes.
All right, guys. Much love to you all. Keep that third eye open.
Okay,
until later
take care,
tonight.
honey.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Love you all. Have a great holiday.
Yep.